Yeah. Here. I hit start before you.
Good. Are you good? We're good. Everything's good here. Hi. Hello. Hi. You. Yes. This is our weekly Dungeons and Dragons game that we are now. We had a change in group dynamic to unfortunate reasoning, but we are back and recording again. This time in the beautiful land of Kamas. And this is Chronicles of the Coast, our Dungeons and Dragons game, which you can watch live. Some of you might already be, I don't know who's up there, but some people can watch live from twitch.chroniclesotc. So, is it Twitch TV or just Twitch?
It's twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv/chroniclesotc. So, that is my live introduction that I have also done on Facebook Live. We have other groups and stuff going, so if you guys want to like stuff like that, you can do it later when we have it completely set up. Right, now let's begin our game. We have our amazing setup here, thanks to our good player, Chris. He has set everything up. We have Daniel here. He will be our paladin for tonight. Memphis, he is a Triton, size of a dwarf, but with a giant heart of gold.
Relatable.
Then next to him we have Chris, who plays possibly Ace, also possibly somebody new called Spade. He's having an identity crisis. He's lost his memory. Nobody knows what's really going on there.
Truth.
Moving over here, I have my brother-in-law Jeff. Jeff is playing, standing in for Drostin. He is a human barbarian. Next to him, we have John. John is playing Bismuth, a albino dwarf. Knowledge domain. She's slowly losing her mind to insanity. The trials and tribulations of the Tomb of Annihilation has gotten to her. And then we have Rick. There we go. Now there's not a clothespin on your face. We have Rick. Rick is playing a tiefling warlock.
Or is it Typhoon?
It's tiefling.
Alright.
Just go ask Chris.
That out of the way.
Go ask Chris Perkins. Tiefling warlock, also suffering from memory loss, goes by the name of Insidious. Every time you say that, our bard looks up. And so our game begins. Remember, you can watch it on twitch.tv/chroniclesotc. Thanks for the live video, and bye-bye, and hello. All right. Would anybody like to do a recap and receive advantage on your first D20 roll of the night?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can do it. So, last week we made new friends with Spade down on the fourth floor.
I look just like Ace, but my name's Spade.
Hasn't been weird at all.
Yeah, with our new friend, we attempted to go back up to the third floor, but we were so rudely interrupted by some gargoyle assholes. We put the whooping on them, and then we found a bunch of treasure, right, inside one of these pillars. Then
Cashola.
Sorta.
yeah, and then new friend Franklin, the skeleton.
That's right.
Oh, Frederick, sorry. And then we had a cool game of pass the demons around, the 9 gods, which ended up with Memphis taking Obalaka. He was saved though after turning into stone there for a brief moment by our new pal Spades. And then oh my gosh.
We hid from a flesh golem.
Yeah, we hid from a flesh golem with success thanks to Drostin.
Mm-hmm.
Then we retraced Memphis' steps back to the old tomb that he escaped from. There, we solved the first puzzle, found Papalazza, and that's when Drostin got infested by his first nine lucky or evil gods. Trickster gods. Yeah.
It feels like hell.
It does.
It's terrible.
And what was your flaw?
That's rude. Spades.
We're not in character yet. Tell me your flaw.
The opposing flaw, I bow before no one and expect others to do as I command.
So nothing's really changed with Drostin.
Same as always.
We followed Memphis into the next room, but on the way, he found a sweet, beautiful, what looked like to be a potion. Stuck that in his bag, hung onto it for a little bit. Went in the next room, and that's where we found a pentagram made out of salt. And tons of grunts all over the walls, in depictions of daily life with grunts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, being bullheaded, I think Memphis was the one who walked into this trap, right? Drostin, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's when it revealed that there was a gray slot in there.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had my the trusty companion, Charles the iguana.
Oh, shit, I forgot about Charles.
I'll be your friend forever.
In a random hell mouth. He was just chilling.
Yeah, that was on the 4th floor, correct? Yeah, I believe so.
Yep.
Bottom of the 4th floor.
Yeah.
Inside of a screaming devil face.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sculpture on top of the wall.
We can't understand Charles, but Drostin seems very interested in him.
Oh, that's right, because he can only speak Druidic.
That's weird.
Although Charles can understand us.
Yeah, which is even weirder.
Mm-hmm.
So, we killed the Slod, opened the next tomb, and that's where we found an egg. Nobody wanted to touch this egg, because we all figure it's cursed, just like all the other items in this tomb. So, yeah, we then proceeded to trade even more of our gods around, right?
We identified the egg as a pearl of power.
Yes.
And
And
traded gods yet.
yeah, I think we traded gods after we started some beef with. So Memphis finally opened up that beautiful bottle, and within it was a genie. It seemed like the genie was trying to give us like some sort of help there, but she kept asking for us to like swear fealty, and our cool tiefling here told us that, hey, that's a bad idea. You don't ever make deals with otherworldly entities.
See, so it wasn't that bad.
Unheard of.
I don't know. She kind of seemed like she was on the up and up, but a little too hoity-toity for me. So she dipped after getting dejected from us. Yeah. So then BB sees the staff of the Moa sticking out behind Memphis. His back. And I was just like, you know what? I can't go one day without being possessed. So I grabbed that staff, and now I'm possessed by Moa. And she's pretty chill. She gave me a cool staff of the python, which turns into a snake, huge snake. And Moa can't lie. So gotta add some honesties, and immediately after that I got asked the question.
What's your backstory you've been hiding?
And it turns out, yeah, BB's got like 2 years left to live.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys, I will make that a little more streamlined next time.
It was a killer backstory, though.
It was a
BB.
great backstory.
It was fantastic.
I'm gonna take personal responsibility for not being able to record that. That was on me.
I was riveted.
Me too. It was really
The
good.
only bit of advice or criticism I would say is that you just gotta remember to bring your volume up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to get a little more gas. There you go.
A little courage.
Liquid courage,
There
BB.
you go.
Some rum. That better be rum.
Yeah,
There's
totally.
tequila in there.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Ship rum. Tastes
Yeah.
like dirt.
So long story short, with
one's
Evie's
always
backstory,
Oh yeah. Long story short,
Spades can.
BB's crew is cursed. They're all dead. They were all killed by BB's husband, who's possessed by a devil of some sort, and she has 2
With
years.
whom you've been contracted to find and kill.
Yeah.
By who?
Asmodeus himself.
The king of devils, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the devil himself.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not looking too good.
No,
No big
not
deals.
Yeah. All right.
As I have it, the last thing that
So weird how
was
my
not
character
completely
rates.
decided is that you guys are debating over who is going to grab the grung egg,
Yes.
which looks magical,
Yes.
and you guys are also still undecided on who's getting the potion of supreme healing.
Yes.
So,
Supreme healing.
please tell me what you do.
Okay. Well, I finished this identification on
All right.
this egg, and I still want to cure its petrification and find out what kind of egg it is. But apparently, it has magical properties. It allows you to store 1/3 level spell in the stone and then summon it back into your abilities. So very strong for a caster type.
And Ace, how does the spell become stored into the item? Does it get recharged on its own, or does someone have to put another spell into it?
That I'm not 100% certain, but I would have found out.
Spades. I'm
Through your identify spell, you do know that it is a petrified grung egg. Just an egg, can't be restored.
Okay.
It is a magical artifact now. And the way that a Pearl of Power does work is that you store a spell slot into it.
So you have to spin the slot into it.
So, when you take a
Long rest.
long rest, when you take a long rest right before you do so, you can put any remaining spell slots you have, 1 up to level 3, and it will store it there. So that this way later on when you take a short rest, or if you have a minute, you can retrieve that spell. You cannot use the pearl in combat to spend that spell slot.
I see. So
Outside of combat, you can use it as an action to absorb it.
You can use it as an action to absorb it back in,
In
combat, if you
yeah,
want it.
okay, but it takes
Although
action.
you're gonna be desperate at that point.
Right.
Okay.
Because you're gonna lose your action.
So you store a spell inside of it, it takes a spell slot away from you, and then you can use that spell later.
Yeah. Basically,
Uh,
cast a spell into it, but without specifying what kind of spell, and then it stores that power
Now
Oh, okay.
spades.
in a pearl of.
And then in a
sort.
long rest, you get the spell back
Yourself.
that you stored in the item.
But it's in the power. Yeah.
Right.
It's supposed to be a
Does the owner of the item have to be the one that casts the spell
Indeed, I
into
believe it
the
does.
egg?
You have to
That
attune
would
to
make
it.
sense.
You have to attune to it to store the spell and also to use.
Okay.
So as a caster myself,
Because you
I don't
wouldn't
really know what kind of
Warlock's
spells I
spell.
have available, so I don't think I should use it right away. Until my memory comes back and I know more of my spells.
Very often I have some of my lower level spell slots and powers left over. It would be nice not to waste those all the time. I mean, it's not the most powerful to be putting a first or second level, but it's better than nothing. I mean, I'm going to use my 3rd level spell slots all the time. I'm not going to have one of those left over ever.
Yeah, I don't want it.
All right. Well,
You guys act weird
I
every
still
time
have
you touch something, man.
I still have control of it with the mage hand, I believe. So I just direct it towards Memphis and say, "Here, take it if you wish."
I'll take it.
Before you do that, Memphis, give me one moment. Does anybody want to use the Ring of Protection? I mean, you can attune to more items. I think the person who's almost at the limit for attuning 2 items is Drostin. And he doesn't like his god so far. We'll see what happens. I mean, give him the Ring of Protection. You figure out if Obalak is still going to be inside you after that, or take over Drostin.
All
I'm
right.
kind of curious to see what happens.
I'll
Can you be possessed by
remove the
two
ring of
at once?
protection and
That's great. Thanks, laddie. I'll put this right on.
All right.
Boom.
Assuming we need some saves.
What are you looking me for?
Do the gods attempt to take possession?
No, Obalaka is inside Memphis. Rostin now has a ring. It does nothing. He has to attune to it.
Okay, bro. All right.
All right.
All right, well, that solves that answer right there.
Okay.
So next answer, hand him the growing stone. See what happens.
Oh, we
I
know
thought I
what's
did
gonna
that here.
happen when I take
Grab
the
this.
grung stone.
I just hit you in the face.
I take it.
As you reach out and clutch the petrified grung egg within your hands, you feel it move in your hand. It wobbles around and pulsates and begins to expand. As you clutch it, an ooze filters up between your fingers and up along your hand as it is now engulfed in this mucky slime, green sludge. It crawls further up your hand and takes the form of a frog hand out and another frog hand out. That frog's head forms up out of it, crawls up your shoulder, and you look at this monstrosity of pure, putrid disgustingness. Looks you right in the eye and says, "Nang will help you now."
Oh God.
And grabs onto your face. The ooze begins to filter up into your nose, your ears, filtering around your eyes and through the tear ducts and filling your mouth with bile. The two spirits combat for dominance over possession within the back of your mind.
Obalaka, you pussy.
You're
Take
going down.
Take Nang Nang out.
Ning Ning has pushed and battled and fought with Obalaka. The two of them contest, and Obalaka is forced out of your body as Ning Ning reaches into the back of your mind. The bile continues to just sit at the bottom of your gut. Your stomach clenches for just a moment as you are now possessed by Ning Ning. You now have the flaw of, while inhabited by Ning Ning, you gain the following flaw, which overrides any opposing flaw. You don't share with others.
Okay.
Better than the other one.
While you are inhabited by Ning Ning, you can move up, down, or across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings, while leaving your hands free. You also gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed.
Oh, nice.
So now Memphis has
He's
walking,
a
climbing,
selfish
swimming.
And swimming. And climbing with my hands free.
Dang.
However, as Obalaka is pushed out, Obalaka is thrown back into the ring.
That's why I said get ready.
Now that Obalaka is in the ring, I need Obalaka to make a contested roll against Papazzo, and we'll see what happens.
And we'll see what happens.
It's a demon fight.
Obalaka, the spirit of Obalaka forms as a ghostly mist up out of the ring. You see the visage of almost a frightening looking bear, although you get this sensation of timidness and fear from it. As Obalaka looks you in the eyes and says, "I'll keep you safe. The fools won't listen to me, but I can keep one of you safe." And Obalaka wafts up into your lungs. Your head is thrown back as Obalaka has pushed out the Papazzo. The Iblis is pushed out. You've now gained the flaw of Obalaka. It overrides any opposing flaw. You are now risk averse and a slave to routine. The barbarian is afraid to take risks. That's brilliant. Absolutely
And we
brilliant.
greedy paladin.
Yep.
And as well as that, you are now able to attune to more than 3 magical items. Everything is scary.
Mm-hmm. Everything is
Alright, I
scary.
don't like these bounds anymore. They're kind of freaking me out.
It'll be okay, Drostin. It'll be okay.
Hey, what's wrong with you?
Oh, sorry, Charles, you scared me. Just thought I forgot you were there for a second.
Don't worry, buddy. I won't steer you wrong.
Oh,
You and me, Drostin and Charles and Drostin forever and ever. We're gonna go places. We're gonna see things.
Alright, well, my first goal is to get out of this place. It's frightening.
Yeah, mine too. You wanna go back to the jungle? know this place. There are these huge dinosaurs there.
Not anymore.
You don't do that, Memphis.
We took care of those.
You can't. You don't speak iguana.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Oh, damn. That's right.
Damn. You don't speak Germanic.
I forgot.
Okay, are we all
Primordial,
done with
thinking
the
it's
soul
druidic.
swapping? Can we move on?
Hey, Drostin, let him know that I want an artifact.
Can we do that?
Charles here wants an artifact. I'm right tempted to give him my amulet. I don't use it. It's useless for me.
Would that work?
Can I like hang the amulet on his neck?
It's like Mr. T or like Flavor Flav.
Alright, buddy, you're one of us now.
If you don't at least try, you're doing it wrong. You gotta at least try. See what happens.
Alright, Lenny, here you go. You're one of us now.
You drop. You drop the amulet around the neck of your iguana friend, who you have found in the depths of this maddening, nightmarish tomb. And as it does so, flocks of bird shadows fly across the room, and one stands out amongst the rest. An Iblis. The spirit seems to pause for a second and consider what's really going on. I gotta see real quick here who the Iblis's enemy is.
It's iguanas. It's just iguanas.
Just see his iguanas.
Hey, you ever seen one of these? Oh god, those eat iguanas.
So I believe that.
Eats frogs.
Okay, that's interesting. So the spirit of Papazzo dives into the iguana.
Oh god.
Just gonna get
The iguana's got a shit saving throw because it's an iguana.
Because it's an iguana.
Yeah.
But it's,
So-
it's an awoken iguana.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what kind of stats that gives it.
All right.
Alright.
Yeah. So now it is inhabited by the spirit of Papazzo.
Cool.
Your iguana Charles
As a bit.
now expects you to do everything he commands. That is his new personal flaw. As well
Boss
as
is lizard.
your iguana can never be surprised
He also takes no falling damage.
and takes no falling damage.
All right. Well, that's cool.
So
I'm just imagining every time like he jumps, he just grabs the iguana like like Austin Powers.
Puts underneath him.
Yeah, the fall will kill us both. Powers.
and your iguana's constitution score rose to 19. So
Oh man.
he's
Jesus.
a very healthy iguana, and Charles is looking about the room like, this feels right.
Does it give him the ability to speak?
Right.
No.
Damn.
So your iguana says to you, I think I belong on top of your head. Shoulder's not quite high enough for me. I feel like, once I can see everything up there, I'll truly know what my domain is. Everything that I can see from atop is now mine.
Jocelyn, what's he saying?
Whoa.
Why do you look so scared?
Does iguana look a little buffer than usual?
Yeah. Yeah, what?
That's,
Like,
that's terrifying.
Stop breathing so heavy.
It's scary though.
Now hold your breath. Stop breathing so
God,
heavy.
do that. Oh,
It's not comfortable up here. When you do that, do me a favor. Please stop.
breathe, Justin, breathe.
Does anyone have any haggis for him?
No, all the haggis died.
That's
weeks
right.
ago.
So you were
haggis.
now really just messing. Stuff is getting weird.
That's weird.
And I ask
personalities in a
you,
blender.
I ask you again, what would you like to do?
Where are we?
It's
I
time
say-
to
Are
go
we still
recover.
in here?
I was gonna say we go. Yeah, like you were gonna say we recover spades and armor.
Yeah, we go get Ace's belongings and give them to Spade.
It'd be nice to get out of these rags.
That feels so weird, I guess.
What feels
Alright, well, it looks
you
just
feel
like
weird?
him.
I know, it just is making it even worse.
He's got even some of the same spells.
I am still curious. Where did I come from? Do any of you have a way of finding out what happened to me?
I do.
I just met you. I don't know nothing.
I know what
I
happened
can't
to
do
the
it
guy-
right now. 'Cause
I
I'm
know
not
what
attuned to
happened
my
to the
helmet.
guy that looked like you.
How long will that take, BB?
Rest.
A rest.
Yeah.
Okay, well we can put this on hold for now.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's
What's
head
the-
back and collect Ace's belongings.
Okay.
I could always use a rest, and then we could all attune to our new gods,
Right.
even Charles.
Before,
Are there magic items that we'll
Did we get
retrieve
the key
from
off
Ace?
of this level?
Yeah, that's a good point.
we've gotten
You're
the
right,
key
you're right,
off
you're
of
right.
the first, the second, and the fifth level, I believe.
All right.
And which one's this one?
This
Although
is the second level.
It must have been a dangerous room if your friend Ace fell.
It was.
Are we sure we can go back?
Okay. It's important that we don't touch the floor.
Okay.
So we've
Yeah.
determined that if we can stay off the floor and on the ropes, we can use Mage Hand to gather most of Ace's belongings, although I'm not too sure about the arm. That might prove a bit trickier.
Yeah, my.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know much about the spell yet.
I got an idea. We could send Frederick in there. He ain't got no flash.
Perfect. And then what? Frederick will just hand them up to us?
He puts on the items,
Drop
and
the
then we
rope.
get him back up.
Oh, that's another good.
Even better, Justin.
Is there enough rope? We can just tie it to him, and then he can give us a yank and pull him right back.
Perfect. Sounds like a great plan.
But
That's right.
do you guys want to solve the tomb? I mean, what's one more god, right?
What tomb? The tomb in that room?
Yeah.
I said tomb in room.
Oh yeah, we.
Um,
What do you mean the tomb? The
That was the Aljamir's room.
okay, the where we killed the gray creature.
No. Where Ace's body is.
Oh,
That's a shrine, I would assume.
that's true. Yeah, but I can tell you that whatever we find there, I'm keeping.
Wow.
Whoa.
That was like so.
Mage hand.
Oh, right. I've been down there once before. I'm not quite sure I want to do it again. That's scary. It's terrifying.
I'm not
You'll be
gonna help
alright.
him
You'll
if
be
you
alright,
won't help
Charles.
us.
It's frightening.
Just go to your happy place. Go to your happy place.
Either way, we're going there, right?
All right.
Happy place.
Just remember that it sounds like the spirit is working through you.
If I
If it
remember
becomes
right,
too much, we can cure you.
you all told me that the tiles
With
were
punching
part of the problem.
Well, that sounds
Certain
right.
tiles were part of the problem, if I remember right.
I
You
don't
guys
think we got a
spend
description.
spend a lot of time like
Nope.
examining the tiles before you stepped on them or anything?
No. We just kind of just jumped in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're thinking, but
That was.
that's probably what we weren't doing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thinking.
Yeah.
All right.
Joking.
So yeah, we actually lost 2 friends there. This another one's got a bunch of poison on him.
Yeah, right. But
That's
who
right.
gives a shit about bag of nails?
You used
You
to.
loved
Justin.
Bago. I think I remember.
Yeah. So
Depends on the day.
onward
Who's your
to
kitty?
the Devil Mouth room that leads to the chamber where Ace fell.
All right, who
Quite
wants to cast
lovely.
Channel Divinity? You or me?
Channel Divinity
This
on
is the
what?
room with all
We
the
got to get that
locusts,
the
correct?
mouths open.
Oh, right.
It's the
We
locust
could pull the
room?
bridles.
How many uses do you have left?
Oh, the skeletons in the room.
Wait. Ah, but I don't have that. Yeah. I
The
don't-
skeletons in the room, right?
How many
They're
times?
still
How many
pulling
more
the
times
door
can you
open?
do it today?
Zombies.
Well, you know, if I take a rest, I can get back in like another 20 minutes or so of rest. I could probably get it back again. But I got 2.
Oh, okay. I got 2. So
I got 1 apparently. Sorry.
you got 1. Okay, I got 2, so I'll do it.
Are we still in the
So
cherry
why
room?
are we getting
Yeah.
this guy's stuff?
Okay, you don't
So
want to
that our
examine
naked
the,
friend here
the
can
bronze
have-
shield?
Some.
Well, I think
Oh.
we actually have to go back into the
Once you
cherry room
really
because I
get
believe there was a
touched.
penalty.
Oh, that's right.
Happen,
Did he
really.
die?
That's right. We
Did
did
we
go.
break
in
all
this
the
guy.
pots real quick? I mean, we already did that before, right?
I think we broke 2 pots. Memphis,
I
how
broke
many?
that one and that
you got
one
a little
there.
heavy-handed there.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the worst thing to happen if we examine this bronze shield?
Like identify it.
The room with the zombies?
Let's
You
identify
think
it.
it's
first.
magical? I mean, you said that
Do you
everything
detect
appeared
magic?
magical in here, right?
Yeah, everything was magical.
Okay,
Everything.
wait.
All of it.
If we
And
if
the
we-
cherry.
if we made it so the trap didn't go off, then we should make everything not magical again, right?
I don't know. I can cast the ritual again.
All right. Let's do 2 things. We can cast a ritual to identify the shield, and we can cast a ritual to detect the magic in the room. Correct?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right. I cast detect magic as a ritual in the chariot room.
I will identify the shield on the wall in 10 minutes.
1 minute.
In 1 minute.
Identifies 1 minute, remember? We
It's a
figured that
ritual
out.
1 minute ritual?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 hour ritual.
What's that? Wedding?
Yeah, kinda.
Mm.
Ceremony.
Ceremony.
Ah, yes.
So, you go in, you cast Identify on the shield. It has no real particular name to it. You've identified it as something that, and so you know the properties, and the property of this thing is that the shield itself is able to conjure what word to use? It's not a construct, but it's to conjure up a manifestation of force, and that force is able to cause evocation,
Like a thunder wave?
sort of.
Oh, I
Sort
don't
of.
like that.
But it is the force itself is nondescript. It's not a spell that you can label.
Is this a thing we can pick up?
It's a large shield, but yes, you can pick it up. It is roughly, for a dwarf, if you were to wield it, it would be shoulder to foot, shoulder to ankle.
Jesus.
He did say
Does
it
that give
was a
you,
large
like,
shield.
For
half
a
cover?
dwarf of your size, it's a full-on bulwark.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
part of the identify tells me charges and how to activate it.
Well, it typically it activates on there are a few different triggers. It's not anything that you can activate, not by your own will, but the room is set to activate it.
Okay. All right. That's enough.
As for
So, guys,
charges, it has no charges.
Guys, it seems as though upon something is triggered in the room,
I'm going to say the sarcophagus, like always.
or the,
So
I mean
far.
the chariot looks as though it can be pushed.
Yeah.
Some sort of trigger trap in this room emits I could only describe as a thunder wave out of this shield in towards the room. So this is a trap, in my opinion. It seems that way, and it's not something that you can trigger on your own. So there's no point in carrying it with us. So let's just not touch this.
Okay.
Touchy.
Okay, yeah. Then
I'm fine with that.
that's our answer. Let's just get out of here then.
Yeah.
Do you continue with your detect magic ritual?
Yeah.
10 minutes later, you are able to see that the remnants of whatever cauldrons are here are still charged with magical conjuration. I don't believe you smashed every one of them.
No, I just smashed
No.
these two right here.
So, the ones that are still there. The ones that are smashed, there's nothing remaining from magical on them. As well as there was the magic coming from the actual sarcophagus. That was the amulet that you had picked up.
Right.
And the shield still appears magical.
Okay.
Conjuration and evocation magic.
Okay, so we could break the rest of the pots and then take the shield, right? Or will the shield just like immediately go off on us?
We don't have any reason to carry a large shield with us.
Yeah, but we could be like the great hero Legolas and then ride it downstairs and stuff.
We
Justin,
tried that
stuff.
earlier.
Justin, I want that shield.
I'm not touching anything. I'll learn my lesson.
I like it. It's shiny. Bring it to me.
Alright, you got it. I'm not getting it. No way.
Do as I
I'm not
command.
doing it. That's
Fastball
terrifying.
wizard.
Right?
Terrifying.
What's he saying, Justin?
He wants
If I
the
can't
shield.
have
I'm not
it, no
grabbing
one
it for
can.
him.
Will you feed that thing and shut it up?
I say we just get out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Right with you. Who wants to go first?
can you throw me? Can you throw me over him?
Looking behind you, you see that there are indeed 3 zombies that are still chained to the iron door. They are pulling the door open and gnashing their teeth at their steel bridles as they try to get closer to you.
Try to
Well,
end the game.
can we lasso the zombies and then tie them off to a pillar or something?
We'll waste the last of our rope, Ace.
We can
I
go
mean,
around.
spades.
We do. That's okay. I'm starting to get used to it.
No.
Guys,
We need. Yes, guy. We need the rope. We need the rope for the other plan.
we can just go around.
I tried to.
Okay.
They cut me off because I got these little
Go
short
around
legs.
them or go around.
Yeah, go around the zombies. We can just go.
We can't get through that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think, can we?
Yeah, that's how I came in.
Bismuth has whispered into
Was it
Drostin's
very
ear
tight?
to
5 feet.
throw
Oh.
throw her across the room through the door So I proceed to do so.
What would I? Whoa.
So Drostin puts
We can
his,
walk around, guys. We can walk around.
Too late.
Drostin has already put his hands.
This is mid-pitch.
Drostin has settled his hands together, and BB takes a little bit of a running start. As Bismuth gets up close
Can't
enough,
go wrong, Drostin.
she jumps a meager 2 feet up into
Whoa.
Drostin's
I
saddled
got
hands.
athletics.
Into Drostin's saddled hands, and then with his strength score, lifts her up and over, and she uses the last of her jump to kick off at the same time, cannonballing Bismuth up and over the zombies. Bismuth, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
You're so good at these.
Right? 17.
Tossing the dwarf again.
Bismuth hits the ground hard and rolls and nearly tumbles over the banister as she gets back to her feet from the inertia, although manages to catch on to the banister of the railing, saving her own skin.
I get up and I'm just like, see guys, it's easy. You do it next. I cast Channel
I'm
Divinity.
just looking in amazement that just really happened.
Yeah, turn undead.
Really happened.
We could have
Biz-
just walked.
Bismuth raises up her holy symbol, which is
Right now, it's still the whole like coexist like multiple multiple gods.
it's like just coexist in a big like silver.
Yeah, it's
amulet.
like it's got the hammer of Moradin, and then there's like a raven on it, and then there's like the
all that
Iron
stuff.
And then you've got tattoos of the
Yep,
gods.
yep. It's awesome, guys.
Yeah, it's just holy bling. Just you got a god, I got several.
Seven.
And you hold up this amulet and cast Channel Divinity. A bright, blinding, radiant light flashes before all of you. You can all see a beacon of hope coming from Bismuth as she stands triumphant, turning the undead. They turn to see, and part of their flesh sears for a moment, and they turn and rush full strength, not out of hunger and desperation to eat your faces, but just purely out of some magical fear to escape the wrath of Bismuth.
I follow. I
tail
follow
on
out of
through
the
the
room
door.
now at this point.
I
Yeah.
do like a little football
the
move,
distance.
a little sweep as I get
Spin
past one
move.
of them.
Drostin, I want one of those zombies.
You're gonna have to grab one of those yourself, because I'm not grabbing that either.
Do what I say, Drostin.
I can't. That's terrifying. I can't bring myself to do it.
Happy place.
I'm gonna have to find a new slave.
But right, I'm ready to take that amulet back from you.
Is everybody crossed the threshold yet?
One by
Yeah,
one,
we
you've all
passed.
managed to circumnavigate and slip past the zombies. The three of them are able to move out of the hallway, so there is a bit of a path for you to kind of go around them. Simply disengaging, and you all reconvene back into the hallway. The zombies continue to run, terrified for the next minute.
And I say, in the darkness, bind them. And then I immediately blow all them up with CR. If they're all under CR1.
If they're under CR.
You know
If
what?
they are CR1 or lower, sorry.
I'm sure they
So
are.
awesome. I wish paladins could do that so bad.
Turn them.
So,
Yeah, I could turn it.
The zombies.
Oh, yeah.
running away from you, and you do this as you clinch. As
And
you
in the
cl-
darkness, bind them.
You missed like a perfect opportunity. You should have gone for the arm. But all right, in the darkness, bind them. You close your fist, and the light winks out, and the zombies go. And their brains just explode. They drop to their knees, and the weight of the door drags the bodies back as it clashes down, cutting off the room.
Ah, that was brutal.
Didn't know you had
Oh,
it
that
in
was
you, baby.
nasty.
Well done.
Thanks. I guess.
I could have gone without seeing that one.
I'm never gonna
It
get
was
that shield.
alright. I've seen better.
Hey Memphis, you forgot all the treasure in there.
All the treasure.
It's always
On the
Didn't forget it.
on top of the
I didn't want that.
okay.
All right, let's move our way to this devil mouth.
Where do you go?
Downstairs. Oh, never mind. It's around the corner. I start walking down the stairs and everybody's like, it's around the corner, BB.
Yep. Right there. Exactly right
You're
there.
going the wrong way.
You all move, following around the banister, making a path, beelining as best as you can straight to the room with a bas relief devil face in the ground. The walls and floor of this 15-foot square room are cracked and carved with the images of terrified humanoids falling. Set in the middle of the floor is a stone bas-relief of a bearded devil face, painted green. Forlorn cries echo from the black void of its gaping maw.
So,
The mall.
knowing that we're going to be putting the skeleton down there, I slowly but shakily inch towards the opening of the mouth, just terrified, shaking.
I walk up behind.
At this point, Drustin drops to his knees and is grabbing the edge of the mouth, just peering over slightly, terrified.
I thought it might be funny to fake push him. I'm not gonna fake push him. It's okay.
Alright, I got an idea.
We're gonna tie the
Yes.
skeleton up, right?
Okay, who wants to tie the skeleton up? Probably Drustin. You tie up Frederick, okay?
Alright.
Okay, so he ties up Frederick, and I cast Arcane Eye.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
a skeleton. That means that was alive once.
So, I got my sweet eye patch on, the eye that I'm going to be using. Yeah, and now I've got an Arcane Eye that can see 30 feet ahead of me. Or
Awesome.
move 30 feet ahead of me. And I'm going to actually see if it'll go through this darkness or be dispelled immediately.
Magical eye floating just over your hand. You take it, and you give it a little gentle toss, and it floats down gently into the screaming mouth of this devil. As you peer magically through this eye, I believe you are now blinded to everything around you.
No, I think it's just that eye.
We'll figure it out
right
later.
now. I'll look it up right now, boss.
We'll figure it out later. What's important is that
I think you choose one sense and you take that over.
You're probably correct. That sounds a lot cooler anyway. So, let's do that.
what's important is that the eye falls into darkness, and for a moment you are completely senseless. There's nothing, inky darkness, just
Darkness.
and then light, torchlight of the room that you have dropped this eye into. You're able to look around as the eye floats above the stone tile. You see that 4 torches illuminate stone sphinxes that are crouched in the corners of a 15-foot high room. The torches cast flickering light across hieroglyphs carved into the tiled floor. At the center of the room, a gold inlaid funeral barge stands atop a 3-foot tall stone dais. Resting on the deck of the barge is a small golden sarcophagus decorated with horned rabbits. A dark shaft opens in the ceiling directly above the barge, where your eye has now floated down from. While to the south, a corridor is visible through a set of fangs carved into the wall. You see that the skeleton of a dwarf is sprawled on the floor east of the barge, clad in tattered yellow turban and dusty chainmail, clutching a bronze shield. One additional feature in this room that you see is that there is a humanoid skeleton directly on the ground in front of the barge.
Do I see a feline skeleton and also another humanoid?
You do not.
Oh shit. I say this out loud. So it says that there is no there's no limit of how far away from the eye it can move away from me.
Correct.
Yeah, I didn't know that guys until this point.
There's no limit.
No. But it can move 30 feet per turn.
You had this the whole time, and you didn't share.
I don't say this out loud to Memphis.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
So this is a dwarf
That is the body of a dwarven skeleton.
with the shield, and then you said there was another body right next to the dais. Here,
I investigate the room.
and neither one of those is Ace or the feline.
Correct. In fact, the skeleton that you see there appears to have been some sort of creature, possibly custodian, caretaker of the tomb, although reduced to bits of bone.
Withers. So Ace and Bag of Nails are gone,
But Withers still remains.
but Withers is there. And now you're here.
You're referring to spades or?
spades.
Well, I wasn't. Yeah,
We took a long rest.
I was over
That
there,
at
and
least
then,
8
and then I
hours.
walked to here.
Mm-hmm.
It's been missing for 8 hours.
Been missing for 8 hours.
So yeah, I relayed all this information to my friends that Ace's body's gone, and so is a bag of nails, and all that's left is Withers' body and a dwarf.
Any tracks?
I investigate the room. I want to see if there's any tracks, what the room itself looks like, any descriptions I can get.
You look over the remains of the dwarf real quick, giving it a quick glance. You see that the shield looks to be very well cared for. He appears to have been some sort of an adventurer. Yellow turban is still intact, as well as he has his supplies still. You can tell he was a male dwarf because the hair and beard were left behind. Not eaten. The 4 torches continue to burn. They appear to be some sort of magical torch, it would seem. The sphinxes themselves are a gynosphinx, and their mouths are closed currently. You see that there are many different hieroglyphs upon the floor of this room. Many of them, to go through all of them actually from what you see that there is a reed, a scarab, a door, a scepter, a serpent, a foot, a vulture, and an urn. I know I said that fast. If you want to write it down, let me know.
I would love to write that down.
Yeah, I bet you'd like to write that down.
Yeah.
Okay, so scarab.
A reed, a scarab.
A reed like, what does it look like? Wheat?
Think like a cattail, you know? Actually?
Yeah. Cattail.
Hey, I got something for you.
You have a handout.
I got something for you.
You got a handout.
I'll write that shit.
Yeah. Write that down.
More objects.
There you are.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. It's a hieroglyph floor.
Okay.
Boy, this would have been handy to have.
Well, it would have, but you guys went directly to the floor.
I'm not complaining. I'm mainly just stating the facts.
Yeah. I mean,
Holy moly.
I'm no genius or anything, but maybe the ones with the bugs on them
Can I
are the
tell what the
ones
shield's
we
made of?
shouldn't step on. For
Where's it?
starters,
Where's the bug?
all the scarabs.
Yeah,
the little
I'll let you
beetles
investigate
here
it in a
and
second.
here and here.
Sure.
Just a thought.
It is a 14 plus 2, so 16.
Oh, wait. Or maybe the foot.
Plus some dwarf. Can I
Is
get
where you
advantage
should
for that?
step?
Right.
Hold on.
Oh, it's very tricky, and that's where you shouldn't step. It's difficult to tell here, Spades. You're new.
Is there any wear pattern in the floor?
A pattern, you say?
Yeah, like a wear pattern.
Oh. From where like a skeleton might be stepping to clean up bodies,
I'm gonna
perhaps?
assume we can't see this.
What? What are you looking at? What was that?
That spot that kind of looks like.
No, yeah, he told us there was a door to the
He said
south.
there was a door.
Yeah, there's a door to the south. There's fangs right here too.
You have an all-seeing eye down there. It sees all.
Yeah, it's there.
Is that where I said the things were?
South is what you
Something like
said in the description.
Description.
Which here, that is here.
Yes. Corridor to the south, which
Oh, but that's different.
which
That's
is
what,
actually
that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
this is south.
Sure it is.
Perhaps there are no safe tiles, and we waste our time trying to find a safe tile while they just kill us. The trap is to drop down from the ceiling onto the barge.
Bismuth had done an investigation, and your total was
a 16.
a 16 to investigate the body. The skeleton itself is picked clean. Looking at the remains,
I was investigating the shield. I want that shield.
I'm gonna give you the whole deal,
The whole enchilada.
the whole enchilada. The skeleton is picked clean. Also, by looking at the remains of it, you kind of guess that it might have been here for about 6 months, roughly. The bones are dry, aged, dusty. As well as looking at the yellow turban, you see that it has a gemstone on it. Looks valuable? A little valuable, maybe. There's a coin pouch to the side. The shield itself is... What did I say? Did I say a copper or a brass shield?
You said
Platinum, I
bronze?
think?
Yeah. Oh, Adamantine.
Dusty
Adamant.
chainmail.
That's what it was.
Dusty chainmail and a
Rust.
bronze shield.
Oh, okay.
It is nondescript.
Dusty chainmail.
It appears to be a shield. Nothing out of the ordinary by appearance.
Damn. All right. Can I cast Animate Dead on it?
Through your eye?
Yeah, I can see it.
I'm gonna say no.
I don't think so.
That's so awesome, though. That was a good ass try. I like the way you're thinking,
you can
baby.
cast spells through it.
That is magically astute.
So it creates a servant. You choose a pile of bones or corpse or humanoids within range.
Sight. I can see
10 feet. So no.
There you go.
Okay, so I look over and I look to see what my group has done with their cool patchwork job of wrapping up Frederick. Can you give me a check for that?
I believe he is making us roll after we drop the skeleton in the hole to see how good the knot is.
Ooh.
So we don't change our action. So you done with that knot? Let's lower that skeleton down.
Still got it, guys. Come on, two rolls.
Right,
quadruple
before
knot.
we hang them over
Two
the
rolls.
holes,
Yeah.
maybe we should jiggle them around up here.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Give it a
idea.
shot. Test
yeah,
the knot.
let's test the knot.
You yank on the knot, rattling the bones of the skeleton as he is pulled forward and back, to and fro, not giving any expression of displeasure, although seeming to resist a little bit. The knot tightens around. Explain to me how you tied this knot thing,
Oh my
actually.
god, yeah. Because is he just like bones?
Did you like just do a noose around the neck and hope for the best? I mean,
No.
he's dead, so.
No.
Like wrap it through the rib
You know,
cage?
you kind of like
Yeah, I was thinking the hip
kind
bones.
of create
Yeah,
almost
through
like
the
a
pelvic
harness
area.
Oh, there you
on
go.
the rib cage so that it hangs kind of like this as it's lowered down
So-
from the back.
So
Climbers.
you've made
Oh,
the
that's
skeleton
good.
some
Yeah.
fall protection.
No, he has a
It
climber's
sounds
kit.
like he's experienced.
Yeah.
OSHA approved.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm
so
good.
you-
I'm an experienced climber, and I've securely tied in the skeleton to descend.
It's
Okay.
okay, Justin. Honestly, you're probably the best one to tie a safety knot right now.
Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand, intelligence-based roll.
Great.
Intelligence.
Roll a d20.
Knowing how to do a knot is an intelligence thing, but with sleight of hand, using your hands. Intelligence-based sleight of roll. Sleight of hand roll.
17. Oh, it's sleight of hand is dex though.
It
Yeah.
normally is dex, yes, but I'm asking for one with intelligence.
I don't know, they usually ask for survival. Or
If you want to do survival, I'll let you do an intelligence survival check.
what about a survival check? That one you're good at.
Maybe.
So you want him to change the
So it's-
wisdom modifier of his survival to intelligence, but keep his proficiency?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay. So what's your wisdom right now? Your wisdom is
so intelligence is
0. So you have. It
-1.
doesn't change anything. Oh, it is. But
It's
it minuses
-1,
1. Okay.
so
So only at
it's
3.
three,
So
yeah.
still 18. Pretty good.
18's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The skeleton is lowered halfway down with this knot that you have tied into a makeshift harness. Lowered all the way down, and he steps down onto. Where do you want him?
Where does it come down?
Where,
Yeah, it depends on
where
where
does
we're
the
at.
mouth open?
It actually comes down pretty much right over the barge.
Oh, okay.
You're kind of looking at like these tiles here, and then here,
Okay.
roughly.
I remember us like showing up like right here last time.
Yeah, that was a problem.
You guys are in this area.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, perhaps you can find out what triggers the trap right now by where you let the skeleton walk.
Yeah.
Because we still got your eye down there to kind of observe everything. That's
Right.
happening.
What's happening down there, BB?
He lands directly on a tile.
Yeah.
Which tile is that?
It's a snake.
Okay. As he steps down, the eye is able to observe that the 4 gynosphinxes, their mouths begin to yawn, and locusts swarm out. And in a second, there is a massive cloud of these
Yeah, we're
creatures
gonna do that
swarming
too.
everywhere, all over.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna walk him this way.
Which tile is that?
Looks like a shovel, right?
Or a reed?
Yeah, a spade or something.
Is it a
I
reed?
think that's the reed.
Oh, yeah.
Those are reeds, obviously. So
It's like a holy symbol.
So the
a spade.
these locusts continue to swarm an area of 15 feet, a 15-foot cube, 15 feet high. Your eye is unable to see in this swirling mass of insects.
Okay, I can't give him a command until I can see him again.
You can't give commands until you can see him. You have to be able to see him because you have a
It's like psychic, but
right.
I gotta be able to see him with my psychic eye.
Okay.
Pull the rope.
Yeah. So
I say,
what do you
call out.
see?
I call out. Pull the rope. He
Pull 'em
stepped
up?
on the wrong tile, guys. It's full of locusts.
So
I
I
can't see anything.
pull him up just slightly enough that I know he's now
Off the tile.
off the tile and dangling.
So you lift him up until you can feel the weight of the skeleton, and you
Yeah.
give him, by your estimate, maybe a foot up.
Yeah.
And he continues to hang there. The swarm of insects swirls and fills the room, swarming and buzzing madly, trying to consume anything organic. Anything that organic flesh, that is.
And we wait for a moment.
Yeah.
Does the swarm go away?
Yes, let's give it a minute or something.
Yeah. Let's wait. See what happens.
So you hold
Frederick.
Frederick the skeleton aloft, pondering what's going on down below you, watching through your arcane eye. You see the swarm of these insects are filling the entire area of this chamber with the skeleton as he hangs there, doing nothing. And after a minute, the swarm does dissipate, just into nothingness.
That took a whole minute, guys. That was long.
Yeah, that is long.
All right. Let's,
There's no way we could survive that.
So
Now,
he's dangling a foot. My suggestion is just to kind of swing him, and then you kind of guide with the eye, and we'll drop him on another tile and see what it does.
Okay.
Do you think there's significance to which tile the dwarf is on? He's on a foot.
And he's dead.
Is it a foot?
And he's dead. Yeah, it's one of the feet. You can see his
Yeah,
toes.
maybe not that foot.
But it's a 15-foot thing, and he could have fallen from one of the ones around it. I don't know.
Okay.
they're
How about this? How about this?
locusts.
We know that.
Go on, people.
Okay, we know that this. There has to be a path that goes to the center, right? Why don't we start from the center and move out?
Okay.
So,
Can we just try that foot to start with
yeah, sure. Throw him on the foot
and see?
You are going to
Is he in the
attempt.
center?
to drop him onto this foot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to attempt to drop the skeleton on that foot tile.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
So basically, I started swinging
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you're kind of swinging it, and you're watching through arcane eye, and as it looks like
Giving out
he's-
directions.
Yeah.
as
the
long
whole
as
time.
he looks like he's got the momentum to land on it, you're like, now! And Drostin, you give the rope slack. He lands, drops down, the skeleton clatters clumsily to the stone tile with the foot, and once again, the Sphinx's mouths open up, yawning, and locusts swarm out to fill the entire area.
Alright, it's now Bee's turn. She gets to choose.
Okay. We wait a minute and try again. What do you want to do?
Alright.
A minute later.
Pull him back up. Try again. I want to throw him onto. Let's see. If we see the dwarf here, what was he going for? Because it seems like he's going this way, right? He
His
died
feet are on
feet
that vulture.
forward. I mean, does it look like the dwarf when he died, he was walking a certain direction?
He's facing this way, facing south.
The dwarf himself looks like he died and collapsed almost in a panic.
Oh. Just like clutching his face.
Yeah.
Sure.
He basically made it 2 steps in.
Yeah, they got the eyes first.
Yeah.
In from where though? There's no door to the
Yeah. Isn't there a door right behind you? Oh, where's the door?
door here south.
Oh, okay.
So what was he doing that far away?
Yeah. It's not like he ran across the room and immediately got killed halfway through. Bag. Bag of nails.
One of these a doorway?
Looks like two hammers. I'm just kidding. Alright, I'm gonna
Damn
land.
dwarves, everything's a hammer.
Do we have any clues?
I just remember that I didn't, like, when we did it, it was switch, 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 switch. Never step on the same one twice.
Okay.
Is there a path that goes in that pattern? Like, never the same one twice? To the dwarf?
Well, these tiles aren't activated, like that puzzle that you're explaining.
Does the barge looks like it's
You
big
weren't
enough
there.
to hold all
That's
of
what I'm
us?
saying. You're explaining it really good.
The barge itself looks.
Made it go.
Well, if you move the puzzle out of the way, it does look like if you were to take the rope down, that you should be able to swing yourself a little bit to land on the barge or the accompanying stone dais.
Well, let's see if the creatures come out when your skeleton walks upon the barge.
Or at least the stone platform.
Right.
Because if we can all stand on the stone platform.
You know that there's a vulture right here in this way.
Until we
Get
figure
into
this
the boat.
puzzle out, I don't think any of us should go in there.
Well,
Those locusts
let's
are pretty deadly.
drop the skeleton on the platform and see if the locusts come
Yeah,
out.
but then if we test the tiles, even with being on the platform, they're still swarming the room, eating organic material.
They go back in the mouths after 1 minute.
After 1 minute though, but we're still in the room, so they'll still find you and eat you, regardless of where you are.
Only if we make.
Since your
only
friends
if they
aren't in
come
this
out.
room,
Yeah.
why are we going
Yeah.
in it?
So we have to figure it out.
That's
So
what
we
I'm
have to
saying.
figure out which tiles activate before we just start trying to go down there.
Memphis.
That's what I'm saying. If we drop the skeleton on here, we
need to
find
just
out
keep trying.
if they even come out.
Where would you like to try next?
I got an idea. Do you guys really want to do this? Because there's no payoff from fighting with the Scot, okay? The only thing I see that of value in here is like what the dwarf has on him and dead withers.
Why
Fred,
would you assume that
my-
there's...
I believe I might have mentioned in the description that the funeral barge is gold inlaid.
You gonna lift that and carry it out?
Yeah, right? Take this giant sarcophagus
I
and
guess we
gold
could chip
out.
the gold away, but what I mean, all of the shrines seem to have magical items. Why wouldn't you think this is any different? There's got to be a magic item in there. They're all very powerful.
Do we have to go in here?
Do you guys want the magical item?
Well-
I mean,
We don't know,
do we need it?
right?
True.
You don't know.
I mean, you
We
guys.
were looking for Ace's
I mean,
armor.
Two people
Yeah,
so
we
far
see.
don't want to have gods in them, and we couldn't find Ace's armor, the thing that we want most of all.
And there's no tracks, huh?
There's no
That doesn't
tracks at
make
all.
any sense.
Show someone dragging a body out of here?
So
Could you imagine that? Like
Skeleton?
zombies coming in here to grab more bodies and just like
Skeletons that are roaming
zombified.
around?
I mean, what's
Oh
it?
yeah, it could be a
How many
skeleton.
symbols were there? 6?
Huh?
6, 7 different symbols?
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4,
Five.
5, 6, 7, 7.
So we spend the next 10 minutes trying each symbol and see what happens.
To see if there's an initial pattern. I agree. It's the first step. To see if one of them doesn't trigger it.
Right. If we're gonna figure it out, let's just do it.
Yeah. So just pick one. Maybe you wanted to pick one. Pick one.
Okay, so how about? Jeez, I want to try to land him on top of this platform. I want to see if actually the locust will attack if you land on it. That was a good point right there.
So you swing the skeleton once again. A little bit of inertia. Doesn't take a whole lot. The platform itself is mostly underneath the opening. And he lands on a stone dais right next to the barge
Okay.
and stands there.
Okay.
So that doesn't trigger the movement.
So now you don't have to pick them up anymore. You can just push.
Yep. Okay. So first step forward. I want to. We know this foot doesn't work. I want to step right here.
Which icon is that?
This
The
is
reed.
the reeds.
The skeleton steps onto the reed. The mouths open and the insects swarm out.
Okay. Well.
You wait a minute and the insects pass.
I would decide it was.
Okay. Well, that one's off the table. So we wait 10 minutes again, and then I try.
1
to
minute.
1 minute.
1 minute. Sorry.
Can I just say I think it might be ironic, and we should step on the scarabs.
All right, well, I'll step on this scarab first.
Because if you're coming into this room, you could jump to here and to here. I think that you can maybe make that jump.
As the skeleton moves across the dais, he steps over onto the scarab. The mouths open and yawn out more locusts.
Okay, so wait a minute. Test this one.
And that
Trial
is-
and error.
That one is
The
Turkey.
looks like a vulture.
Turkey vulture.
It looks like the Skeksis.
that would be a vulture.
Hmm.
So as the skeleton walks over, it does step onto a vulture, and nothing happens.
Go figure.
Now was this the
Pick your
the
bones
shrine
clean
of
by
the
the
vulture
birds.
person?
No, no, no. This
no,
is
no.
the bunny, the
I
Ibjin.
told you.
So who's the enemy of the Ibjin?
No, I don't think it works like that. I'm telling you, it's just like the puzzle we did when we went to the iGym one, which is don't step on the same ones twice.
Okay, but you gotta start that pattern somewhere. Okay, so you step on the
start
turkey.
right there. You just found the start. Turkey.
Okay.
Turkey.
But I don't
So
think we're
back 'em
supposed
off
to
and
come in from the
Step
roof.
on the turkey.
Well,
You
we're
know what I
working
mean?
backwards.
You gotta start.
we're working backwards. So
All right.
now,
So we'll see. Have him go here. See if this one.
yeah. So I step him toward that weird opening that he sees on this side, not to the south.
South.
Yeah. And steps onto what tile?
It looks like the staff.
The rod. Stab.
rod.
Whatever you want to call it. What are you calling it?
Scepter.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot cooler.
And as he steps onto the scepter, the Gynosphinx's mouths open and yawn.
Okay.
A minute later, the cloud disperses.
Okay.
Step back.
This time I am going to step
Another
on.
bird.
I'm gonna step on the scarab.
Where is another bird? There's one on the other side.
I'm gonna step right here.
And that is,
Scarab.
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 once again, the mouths open up and insects swarm out.
Try to get him to step on another vulture.
Yeah. So
Another bird.
he could climb over and step on that vulture right there. See what happens.
Okay. So another minute goes by, and he steps on this vulture right here.
As
On the
the
north side.
skeleton steps onto the vulture, the mouths yawn open, and he is engulfed in a swarming cloud of insects.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like there's any way to get back to him safely, right? Because we stepped on all the squares that correspond on this side to go that way. Okay.
All right. What are we trying to accomplish in this room?
I was just trying to
Sorry.
figure it out. It's in,
No, no,
it's
I-
in
no, I
honor of
understand.
Ace's death here.
I understand. Are we trying to open a sarcophagus?
I'm fucking determined now.
It seems like it's safe enough for us to drop down.
Well, why don't you just have the skeleton open the sarcophagus?
Yeah, see what happens.
Well, fine. Skeleton, Franklin, please try to open up the sarcophagus. Frederick.
The skeleton moves over to the sarcophagus on the barge and attempts to open it, but seems to be unable to find any place of purchase for his hands. Skeleton looks around, hands passing over bits and pieces of it, cannot find a purchase. Seems to be no opening, almost as if it's solid.
Okay. So I want to go back to the vulture right here, the one that said that like it didn't go off, right?
Okay. As the skeleton steps onto the vulture, the mouths open and swarm.
But you told me it didn't go off when you did that.
As now.
It
As
does
you step
now.
onto the vulture, the mouths open and swarm.
Yeah. So it's not. It's a pattern. It's not what we're on right now.
Oh, so like we're on the tail end of some sort of pattern that's supposed to be going off?
So every time you
Right.
step off of the pattern, it resets.
Okay.
But it changed on us. So
Right.
And which number is the vulture in the pattern?
I'm gonna try
a
stepping
good
on
question.
the foot this time.
you could find that out by hitting it over and over again.
As you step onto the foot, the skeleton, a moment later, a minute after the cloud disperses, skeleton steps onto the foot hieroglyph. And the skeleton is engulfed by a cloud of locusts.
Okay, so
Run, Forrest.
Can you just have him go retrieve the shield from the dwarf if you want it so badly?
I do that. I ask him to walk over and retrieve the the shield and all of the stuff that's on that dwarf.
The turban.
Please tell me what tiles he walks over as he does that.
Just like beelines. Like
Yeah,
he steps on 4 tiles at
I
once.
need to know what
Instead
they
of-
are.
Just you start.
Okay. So
We might figure out the pattern just by doing this. Oh, but I guess if they're not dispersed.
yeah, right. No way.
Well, it's a 15-foot, so they
He-
should move.
He
at
said
least
he's stepping
once.
on like 4 tiles, just
Oh, and you
trampling
can't
all of them.
see. You can't. I mean, I guess
Well-
you could tell him to go there and come back.
Yeah.
The skeleton can go over there and make a search while blind. It's a
yeah,
minus
well,
10
he's
to his
he's
search.
not smart. If I just told him to go get it, like he's just gonna walk tromp all the way across. So
Yeah, so I
from
want
his
to know what
direct
he
line
steps
from
on.
here, he'd probably go directly just straight over here.
So tell me what he steps on.
Okay. Vulture, foot, snake, vulture, whatever the dwarf is on.
Foot.
Is that a foot again?
Vulture foot, snake, vulture foot.
Every time he steps on a tile, you notice that the cloud recenters on him, with the exception of one of the tiles that he stepped on.
Which one?
Well, you have to wait a minute for the
Right.
cloud of locusts to disperse.
Mm.
And as the cloud does disperse a minute later, you can see that the cloud did not recenter on him as he passed over the serpent tile.
This one? Or this one?
You told me he stepped on a serpent tile.
Yeah, that would have to have been this one because I went directly across and then up to this one right here. And then he walked over to. Okay, so. Does he get the shield?
So he bends down and he grabs the shield, lifts it up, skeletal hand still clutching it. Starts rifling through the dwarf, grabs a coin pouch, a gemstone off of his yellow turban.
He puts it inside his pelvis and it just falls straight to the ground.
It ties like the belt like all the way, so it's just around a vertebra.
Can he like put on the armor?
The chainmail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, sort of. He's got a harness on, so
Yeah, okay.
he like drapes chainmail like a scarf around his neck.
Yeah.
It's just hanging across the front of his ribcage.
Oh,
Like some more bones fall out of it. You don't know if they're his or from the dwarves.
I want that turban too.
He grabs a turban. It like unrolls into a long wrap of cloth.
Just
The gemstone is
No
in hand, but
No ceremony for the dead.
right.
yeah. So he believes he has everything of value. He's got chainmail, the turban, the gemstone, a coin pouch, a belt, the shield, and a boot with a foot in it.
Yeah.
Only one boot.
Only one boot with a foot in it.
Good job, buddy.
And he stands there.
Yeah, and he does the pull twice. And gets,
I don't believe you ever told him he needed to do that.
Oh no, I didn't. So the swarm's still around him, correct?
Yeah, so you have
I
no
don't see
idea if he
any
got
of
all
this.
the stuff.
I don't
But
see
no,
any
no, no, no.
of
The
this.
swarm did disperse. That's how you saw the serpent
Okay,
time.
after a minute. Okay.
And after that minute, the swarm disperses, and you see the skeleton standing there in all his glory.
So the only clue I got from that, guys, was like vulture, snake. Which part starts with vulture and then snake?
No idea.
There's one right here, vulture, snake. But there's also one
But you stepped on a bunch of tiles between the two.
No, but only those two made it stop. Vulture and snake so far.
But then, yeah, so you retried Vulture a second time, and they came after
It's a
you.
game of mastermind.
Yeah, but that means that we haven't finished the amount that we're supposed to be doing. So maybe it's supposed to be like a certain sequence of them. Vulture, snake.
Vulture, snake.
No, I'm gonna try
What
something
was the
else.
order that the DM gave
Okay,
it to us in?
why don't you bring the atoms up and we can be identifying them as you try more.
Oh yeah.
Patterns.
So I yell. No, I don't yell. I psychically tell him to pull the rope twice to signal to Drostin that he can be pulled. And
Or
then
you could just tell Dross to pull the rope, whatever.
yeah, it's more fun this way. So
He
Drostin,
pulls the rope.
yeah, Drostin
Drag
just starts pulling the rope and he just slides.
Drostin's like already
slides
pulling the
across
rope,
room.
and the skeleton is kind of dragging across
Yeah.
the room. Tell me any tiles that he might drag across. And it's like he's already
It's going this
basically-
way, right? So yeah, he'll go right back over.
Vulture, snake,
So
Yeah.
he's standing on foot right now.
egg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing is?
Yeah, so then he'd go right
Urn?
back over vulture, snake, and then egg.
Urn? Whatever that
It's
thing
an
is.
urn.
Mm-hmm.
Vulture, snake, urn.
Okay. And the swarm follows him as he passes over every one of those tiles and lifts right up. And Drostin's already got him halfway in the air when the skeleton finally reaches up and tries to tug on the rope. And you pull the skeleton up out of the darkness, trailing behind him a really long piece of yellow cloth still falling into the demon's mouth. He gives you the items. You look at them. You shake out a couple of extra bones. You see that there is still a foot inside the boot. You look at the gemstone. It is a peridot, worth probably about 500 gold, by your guess.
A peridot?
A peridot. They're green little gemstones. They're semi-precious.
Oh, peridot.
Peridot.
There we go.
T is silent.
Tomato, tomato.
It's French.
Peridot.
Shield?
Yeah, so...
Does it appear magical?
Yes,
Should I try
so-
to identify it?
Are you going to cast Identify on it?
That's quite the pile. Why don't you lay them all out, and I will try to identify each one as you work on the pattern.
I try to sneak the peridot into my pocket past Memphis.
Can you break my 19?
Hey, what do you have there? Is that a peridot?
I believe it's called peridot.
That's a 14. That's like his passive perception.
Oh yeah.
Spade sees, and I don't say anything.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, it was my skeleton went down there, and
Are you going to share?
Mine?
yeah, I'll show. Sure. Yeah.
I'll hold it then.
What if that stone
I can't
possesses
lie.
you or something? Yeah, you
I
can.
can't lie. Yeah. I totally just took this from the tomb. I was gonna keep it for myself, but yeah. So
So then, since you can't lie, you're telling the truth. You're gonna share.
I will share with you guys because it's the right thing to do.
Keep it.
So Ace would begin casting Identify on the various items as you continue to try to look for a pattern, or are you done?
So the pattern I've got so far is snake vulture. That's it.
Seems to really be
I
bothering
mean vulture snake. It is bothering me. Like,
It really seems to be bothering you, BB. From what we've seen, we could drop down onto the barge. If you really want to try to get this thing open, I say that's our best bet.
doing the sequence. So
Hurry
you
up
know,
and drop on the barge.
snake vulture.
Do it.
Okay, well we slowly lower the skeleton back in while Ace identifies the objects.
Okay.
I mean, with my newfound abilities, if I drop down onto the barge and shit goes sideways, I could just jump and run right up the wall, dash straight back through the hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, but if you accidentally touch the ground, Memphis, then you got a 15-foot column of death following you.
That's true.
Do you have an ability that would get you from one place to another really quickly?
Oh shit.
Of course I do.
What is this about?
I mean, I'd have to use some of my powers to do so, but I can step like the mist and...
Well, that might be hidden.
Oh, it just seems like you're just perfect for everything.
Yeah, all the abilities are mine.
Well,
heard
you
this
want to get
before.
lowered down then?
Yeah, I'm not good at puzzles, though, Spades.
Well, maybe
Or
maybe
history.
you could just find a way into that coffin.
All right, I'll give it a shot. I'm more
Just don't
than-
touch the floor.
That's how
get in the
Memphis
barge.
died.
and there we
What's your health at, Memphis?
I feel great, baby.
Like really good.
I feel like really great.
Okay,
baby.
could you take like half your health being taken away in like one shot?
Man, I can't say for sure, but I think I could handle at least one big swarm of these guys, one time.
Oh man, it's gonna be hard.
Now
to lose a
remember-
person in this room.
You could
Remember-
just walk down the walls and we could save the room.
Yeah.
Inside the swarm, you cannot see. So if a visual is required for your step, you will lose visual. So I don't know what your spell is,
Did you just keep your reaction?
but I believe it
It's
might
on
say
the-
that you can see.
Yeah, no, I could do that. I could just the second that the locusts come out, I could say that I cast Misty Step back into the hole. So.
Yeah, I see Memphis stays up. I can figure this out after a little bit of trial and error, guys. Like,
I'm willing to give it a
Okay,
shot.
okay.
We might as well give it a shot.
Put the skeleton back down there.
yeah.
Otherwise, I say we move on, BB.
Yeah.
let me drop down, try and open it. If the bugs come out, I'll Misty Step back up.
You can't see to the top of this, Memphis. Like, you can't even see down into it right now, Memphis.
Okay, fine. So then I will Misty Step to the top of the rope, grab it, and climb the rest of the way out.
Okay, but
As
it's
long as
still
the rope is in a
15
different column.
foot column.
It's got to be in a different position than where
Okay.
it's at.
All right, well, how about we lower down Frederick first on top of the pillar here to give you a hand?
Okay.
Go Freddy.
All right.
So down goes Freddy
You lower down your skeleton anchor.
onto the barge.
He lands down, and you
Just grabs
give him a bit of a pendulum swing so he lands directly atop of the small gilded coffin, the sarcophagus. You take the rope in hand, Drostin holding it firmly, and you make a little bit of a slide down the rope through the dark mouth of the demon and into the room.
I
You-
stop just past the darkness.
You are greeted by the sight of the 4 Sphinx statues leering at you. And
Okay. So looking at the statues, I ready in action to, if the second that I see any of those locusts, I want to Misty Step right back to where I am now.
And then I don't know if I can ready in action, but as soon as I feel Memphis's weight on the rope, I'm gonna start pulling as hard as I can.
okay,
Can you tell the difference?
Do
right
I
now?
see the locusts?
you don't see any locusts.
Okay. Do
The
I?
skeleton hasn't moved. Is that what I heard? Right?
Yeah,
Skeleton's
he's like
moved.
holding on to the boat. To
The
keep
boat,
it in
yeah.
place. Yeah, the rope.
Okay.
Okay. So no locusts. The
You're
skeleton's
standing
down.
on the bar. You're on the rope.
I'm on the
Skeleton's
rope.
on the barge.
Okay.
No locusts.
All right. So I will make my way down carefully, and just one toe.
You kick the barge gently with your the toe of your foot of your boot, and a wooden thunk. Nothing happens.
Wouldn't
The boat itself appears to be real.
Fascinating. I wonder. Suddenly Memphis has an idea, but anyways, okay. I will drop down onto the barge.
Stepping onto the barge, fully supporting your weight. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Drawson's scared for you.
I turn over to the sarcophagus and I begin inspecting it and
Give
ask
me a check.
Nang Nang what he thinks.
Give me the check.
That's not good as usual, so that's
What
gonna be
was the
just
total?
fine. 6, 7.
A 7. As you're looking over this thing, and you ask Ning Ning for his opinion, Ning Ning, give me a second here. Let me see if Ning Ning has any official opinion on this.
So the only ones we haven't stepped on so far is this type right here. That's the one I want to step on next. And since you're here, I'm
Okay.
gonna go to the furthest one away from you.
It's gonna go right
Don't
to
bring
you.
those things.
No, I'm gonna go to the furthest one away from you, on
Alright.
this side.
But remember, my ready to action is as soon as I see those things. So don't do it until.
So Ning
So you
Ning,
get back out.
Yeah.
Okay.
so Ning Ning, in the back of your mind, is saying, "It could be ours. We could take it. It's worth so much. This is Egan's tomb. Egan.
How do I open it, Nang Nang?
It doesn't matter. We take it. We take it and sell it."
How big is it?
Looking over the sarcophagus, it possibly weighs less than 100 pounds. It is very, very gilded in gold. The thing itself has got to be worth a king's ransom. It could even be solid gold. You're not sure. You can't see the inside.
Oh my gosh.
And Ning
I'm
Ning,
starting to have regrets.
Ning Ning is just pushing for it because like, it's so much. It's worth so much.
I flag over
It's peanut butter
BB's
and,
arcane eye.
pretzels.
Yeah.
Yeah. You?
The entire
You wanna-
time.
No. I make the skeleton signal no. No, I
The
make
skeleton does a thumbs down.
No. He does this.
The
Universal sign for no.
The longer that Memphis is down there, the more that Drostin and Obalaka start to play off of each other and really fear for Memphis's well-being while the longer that he's down there.
So I don't see any way of opening this. If you're not gonna let me untie your skeleton and haul it up through the hole, I don't see any point. I don't know what we're doing down here if I can't have all the treasure.
I can't hear you.
That's like you just see like Japanese, like just like mouthing like.
He's talking to himself.
Just here, baby. I am not a bitch.
Alright.
Just for the top. Just like, dude, how fucking dare you? Raise the captivity my ass.
I tug on the rope. Grab onto it.
I guess the skeleton gets pulled with him, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I pull
I'll
Memphis
climb
right
up.
feeling a slight relief as I see Memphis's head appear.
Oh, wow.
Memphis climbs up the rope. Give me an athletics check.
I have a climb speed now.
Oh yeah,
shit.
fuck you.
Just walks
You climb up the rope. It's like tightrope walking, but sideways.
Oh my
Right.
god. It's so beautiful.
No hands.
Right?
No feet.
Spider.
No hands required.
Spider.
No hands required.
Damn it. Okay,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
You just walk right up that rope.
Mhm.
No biggie.
I come through the ceiling.
Like a boss.
Oh my god, it's like the Pink Panther music
Yeah.
starts playing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just like walk up and just like vertically out of the thing.
Do I finish my identify?
Yeah.
So you have cast Identify on all of the items here. You've gone over the chainmail. It's chainmail. You've gone over the shield. It's made of bronze. You have gone over the boot. It's a boot. The bones belong to a gold dwarf. In the chainmail, a amulet had fallen out. A holy symbol to Moradin. Nothing more.
Aww.
And you've also gone through the money pouch. The pouch itself had 500 gold pieces.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It also had a diamond, the material component diamond for a raise dead spell. So worth whatever that is worth.
Wow.
I think 500 gold as well.
Okay.
As well as two very suspicious looking 1 inch in diameter crystal eyeballs. Your identify spell on them, looking up your identify spell, does not really identify non-magical items so much.
Can I see one of those?
You said there were diamond eyes?
No,
Crystal.
crystal.
Crystal eyes.
Do they have a particular color to them?
They do.
Yeah, crystal.
Ruby red.
One is dark blue and one is a vibrant purple.
Dark blue and vibrant purple.
Purple and crystal.
Where do you think they got these? Alright guys. So jump back in the hole.
Before
What?
you do that, I take one of the crystal eyes and I hold it up to my eye. Can I see through it?
Partially. I mean, it's decorated on the inside, much like a cat's eye marble, to look like an eyeball. So you can partially see through it, but parts of it are a lot more opaque, and you're not able to see through those parts.
Holding them both up to my eyes, can I see through them?
Ace, what if
It
it's
doesn't appear to be anything magical about them.
Well, so I don't know much about light and such, and colors, but perhaps we can use these to figure out which squares we can step on.
Didn't seem like it helped that dwarf very much.
Maybe he hadn't figured it out yet.
I take the eyeballs and I put 2 of them inside of Frederick's eye socket holes.
There you go.
You pull your skeleton back up. As his head raises up and he's just hanging there like this, you're like, right into his eye sockets. and like one of them goes real lazy. You have to like put it back up, and it starts to go lazy again. You bust out some of your glue, and you kind of like glue it into place.
No.
And he's got like an eyeball glued there. It kind of eerily looks like an eyelid. And you lower him back down into the hole.
Well, Memphis, what did you find out while you were down there?
Nothing more than what BB already knew, Ace.
All right. I want
What
it to
hold
go.
on, I
to
want some more.
existence.
Hold on, before you do that, I want some more information. So, what did you find out about this sarcophagus?
Well, it's solid gold. Seems to be sealed. No way in. Maybe no way out.
And it's sitting inside of a what now?
It's sitting inside of a wooden boat that actually seems to be movable. I thought we'd just bring the boat right up and steal the sarcophagus
Why
and
don't
take
we?
all the treasure.
Why don't we attempt that?
I don't know. BB said no.
Why, can't we just loop some rope around both ends of the canoe and lift it right up?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I'm like concentrating. I say with not even looking at you guys. Do you guys know how much a slab of gold that big would weigh? Because I could probably make an estimate for you right now.
What if it's hollow?
Looking at it, you suspect that actually the sarcophagus itself probably does not weigh much more than 75 pounds.
As I said, it's not very
75
heavy at all.
75 pounds. Whereas the boat itself might actually weigh more than that.
Yeah, we could have just. I just wanted to.
I think between all of us, might be worth just getting it out of the room and moving on.
Have you been able to move any of these tombs so far?
I personally haven't tried.
No.
None have been this small or in a boat.
They're all this small.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah,
We
they're
never
all-
tried with the wagon.
Yeah, I mean, we just left a room. It's very odd to me that the last two that we've seen have been in transportation type items. A chariot and now
Chariot
a boat?
and a boat.
What's that have to do with anything?
You never seen a funeral pyre?
Okay,
I've been around tons of those things.
Alright, yeah, oh, you're
Just
right.
like
we figured
this
that
on
out
a
on the
boat.
We
phone.
bury our dead on boats.
You're right.
Mhm.
You're right. We
They're not
figured
really
that out
buried.
with
You
the-
just
with the
push them
other
out to sea, you know, and then sometimes you're unlucky and they put you on an ice cube.
Maybe that's all it is. There's nothing in here.
one. Maybe we tie a rope to it and then we all get out this exit somewhere and then we just pull it and it canoe styles to us.
That's kind of what I was thinking. That or just.
Why don't we just walk downstairs after? Never mind.
No, I think you're right. Come out this room from another angle.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good
But
idea.
have the rope already tied, and
the skeleton,
somehow
yeah.
drop it to position it. Well, we got the skeleton, so
We
the
got the
skeleton
skeleton,
can walk
You
it
can walk
to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a fine idea.
Instead of messing around up here, let's just go down there.
Maybe we should attack this from a different angle, since the body wasn't here and that was really our primary.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I still need a rest, guys. So if we're gonna do this, we might as well like rest at the top of the mouth again, right?
All right.
Rest in this room.
If it's rest time, let's rest. I think I could use a rest too.
Okay, we're doing long rest here.
I could use a long rest, but I'm not really certain what happens when you lose control of an animated dead.
I'm sorry, Dad. Probably just.
Why would you
stops
lose
moving.
control of it?
It only lasts 24 hours. Like I've had them for at least 2, I think.
You can recast it.
I can't recast it. I'm out of spell slots.
Well, I mean, after a long rest, which is only 8 hours.
Okay, yeah, then I can.
Bring your
probably-
skilly
Well, it
back
depends
up.
on how long it's been since our last long rest, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, well,
True.
Ace used to throw up this tent. Is that something that you might be able to do?
Used to sing us lullabies too.
What kind of lullaby?
I enjoyed the lullabies, but my
Sweet
right
Home
to sleep.
Alabama was one of them.
Sweet ones.
Okay.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get
Oh, that's
easier.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, child, things will get bright.
What kind of ritual did he do when he was making this dome?
He would make a circle in the room, and
On the floor?
yeah,
Okay. Is that something we want to try now?
it
In
would,
here?
it would take him much of time, like up to 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, it'd take a while.
It's
Just
like
a
a
little while.
ritual.
To make the
It
dome?
was worth it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we want to try and do that in this room, is that where we want to be? It's pretty safe. There's only one way in.
This room has been the safest so far for us.
Yeah?
The room below, not so
Not so
much.
much. But I don't think anything's
I'll
coming
tell you
up.
right now, if this works, Strawson will take the corner farthest away from the demon mountain.
Yeah.
Well, we can make. I mean, yeah. We
As
can
long
guess
as you're
that
over
would be
here
like
that's
the
taking a
front.
long rest, I think that's what we're gonna do.
Would it fit inside of that? William's tiny hut?
10-foot diameter.
inside of this, right?
Well, yeah.
It's
You're
just a
gonna,
four squares. That's all it is, man.
you're going to create your HUD. That's going to encapsulate part of that demon mouth.
That's what I figured.
Can that work like that? Like half in the mouth, half out?
Yeah.
Like
What if we
against a rock
do-
surface or something?
It's just a dome.
What if we do it
But
away?
we can't lay
get the
down.
horns.
Why can't we just go back to this room, lift it, 3 zombies lifted this door, 3 live people should lift that door back up too, go in there and let it slam down. We're in a room.
I'm not.
Maybe I
taking,
don't want deadlift.
I'm
in
not
it.
taking a long rest in that room. There's no way I'm taking a long
Just look
rest
on
in
Jess's
that
face,
room.
like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, not even close.
All the skeletons.
No, enchanted bones.
Let's just take the rest without the tent. And that's what we did last time, and it was fine.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, I mean, some spades. God damn it.
Yeah, it's alright. No, I'm.
If we throw it up by the horns, though, will it engulf the mouth, or will it just engulf some of the horns?
Well, I guess the whole point is, if we can't be all of us inside it, it doesn't create the same protection, right?
Right, the same safety's not there. So.
So, and we won't be able to lay down if only 3 of the 4 squares is available to lay down in.
I'll take first watch.
Alright,
You're gonna-
Frederick back out, right?
You're going to attempt to rest and give up on the puzzle. Am I understanding that?
Yeah.
I'm fine
Yeah,
with
I
giving
give
up
it
on
up, yes, I
on
give
this
it up.
particular puzzle.
So, pull Frederick all the way back out. And I take the 2 eyeballs back out of his eye sockets.
There's no light in this room, right?
Only the torchlight that Drostin is holding. And has been holding since our last game.
Gotta be hot.
It's burning low.
I take my arcane eye back out.
I'll take the furthest corner from the light and just hide in the shadow or
Yeah,
whatever.
the torch is definitely burning really low.
I put the arcane eye right here, okay?
Okay.
Can I still concentrate on it?
You can concentrate on it no matter where you send it.
I think you can concentrate throughout the rest.
Thinking about casting
I
something.
don't think you can concentrate on it through a rest.
No, it's an hour long. That's it.
It's an hour long.
Okay.
Well, then your eye is actually nearing the end of its existence.
Start to stutter.
Yeah.
It's getting tired. It's
Is that like winking?
Okay. Yes.
It's starting to turn red on the
Yeah,
outside.
it's
You know what I do? Since it can go as far as it wants, I take it all the way out.
It's
I
doing
get it to the center, and then I make it go all the way down to the bottom. And I'm gonna get like a panoramic shot of all the floors as it's going down.
Okay.
Tell me what's
From that center spire.
Yep. Then
Go
we
ahead
get-
and look at the other sides of that map. Oh, not that one. The other ones.
We've been
there yet.
I've been there already.
There you go. There's
Yeah.
one.
So nothing on that floor at all. And then this is the 4th floor.
I'm assuming that
Let
square is
me see,
where it
let
is.
me see that.
What up, Cap?
No, you don't see that floor.
Is that the 3rd floor or 4th? Because I thought we went all the way down to the 4th. and accidentally.
Exactly.
You haven't been here at all.
Is it
So
the
it-
3rd floor or 4th?
This is below this.
Oh.
Oh,
Never mind.
yeah.
You don't get to see what's there.
So 3rd floor, 4th floor.
Yes.
Okay. And then it goes into the chamber with where we first,
The gear chamber.
the first gear chamber.
Right.
Where we saw the greenery.
And that
With
is
the
the 5th floor.
sprinkler.
Yep. Okay.
And your
That's as far as
eye
we go.
rests right there at the bottom.
Yep.
In
It
the
probably
green
just
room.
makes it down there, right?
Right next to a bent sprinkler.
Okay. I have it go all the way back to the beginning room. Where we got the star rod.
Okay. Goes all the way back to the control panel room.
Is it fixed?
It is not.
Whatever happened to that rod?
Handle.
We
Still
have
got
it.
it?
You ever tried to identify it?
Me? No.
Yeah, we did.
No,
I
good.
thought we cast identify and it was just a rock.
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
With a star on the head,
Okay.
head or whatever.
Is
I don't believe we
there
have.
coins in the pipe still?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck you, Withers. I
And
said
with
it.
that, your eyeball blinks out.
Withers.
So long rest time. Kitty.
So yeah, you all hunker down and prepare to take a long rest. I think that's a great time for us to take a little break. And we will come back in, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. It's about 8:30 right now. We'll see what's going on at 8:45.
go.
All right. Back again. Our intrepid adventurers have delved into the depths of the Tomb of the Nine Gods once again, and they are stumped upon the puzzle in the room of Jin, a small little furry rabbit creature with a unicorn horn. Super adorbs. I want one. Now, we go back to them as they smash their heads against the puzzle and try in vain to figure it out.
We just took a long rest in
That
the
is-
room above.
That is true. You have attempted to take a long rest.
Uh-oh.
Most of you are feeling very restless. I already
Yeah.
rolled the dice for it,
Pretty much.
and you make it through the night with no random encounters.
Excellent.
Ace would like to spend some time, or Spades would like to spend some time trying to remember spells. I'm gonna ask for a reminder of some of the common spells that Ace would cast and see if I can practice them in my downtime. So am I successful at remembering?
Yeah, certainly. You're able to delve back into the depths of your mind. You actually, during the night, you have had a nightmare. This particular nightmare woke you up, dead of sleep. The person at that particular time standing guard was business, up on watch. And the vision that you had was very real and traumatic, and you recall 3 disgusting, older, women-like creatures, laughing and cackling. You remember being helpless and unable to move as they performed some sort of dark magics over you. You remember pain, cutting, and darkness. When you awake in a cold sweat, you're not sure what was real and what was nightmarish fiction.
Ace, you okay?
Just pale and sweaty. I think I might have just uncovered a clue of where I came from.
What did you dream about?
There were 3 horribly ugly women performing some sort of ritual on me. Cackling? Does that ring a bell?
Can I make a religion check?
Yeah.
I suspect that it is the Soul Sisters. A 19 plus 10, so 29.
Damn. Alright, 29. Well, you are more than aware that the Sohn sisters, hags of the 9 hells, are creatures of dark and powerful magic. They are, of course, woman-like in appearance. It's not out of the realm of possibility, although without any real formal description or anything, it's mostly just you're working it out and you're putting 2 and 2 together and thinking that it's a strong possibility.
Ace, I believe that these may be the Soul Sisters. I mean, Spades. I'm sorry, man. You look a lot like my dead friend, Ace. And it's almost like he's still here.
Okay. What would it mean that they were performing magic on me?
What were they doing? Slicing you?
I don't know.
Seems like some sort of form of torture.
Yeah, I mean, looking at my body, I look like I've been tortured.
Possibly for information, Ace was like a leader to us.
It's seeming more and more likely like I am Ace. But then you said you saw him die?
He was devoured in that room. His body's missing. The one that we were checking. I look over the edge of the slate.
Down there.
Yeah.
Alright, well
He
that's
was
it.
devoured right in front of me. There's nothing I could do.
Definitely seems as though their magic is at work. But I don't know how much more we're gonna figure out right now. So Perhaps that was a nightmare. Perhaps it was a memory. Is there a way that you could find out?
Have I attuned to the helmet?
Over a long rest?
Yes.
Okay. So I say there is a way. And I place my hand onto his shoulder, his temple. And I place one finger there and I say, meld with me.
I just met you. Just kidding. Anytime.
We are one as I enter into his mind. I break.
So glad you finished that with mine.
And I break into his mind palace. What's there around me?
It's actually stark emptiness.
It doesn't have the memories of Ace, is what you're saying, right?
You don't see a whole lot. It's as if you were standing in a great, vast, white emptiness. That whole empty white room that you see pretty classically. There are just the occasional thing here and there that actually kind of float by, like figments of a mirage that are Ace-like in memory, but nothing definitive. And Ace and or Spades is standing there amongst it all.
Ah!
Almost as if he's trying to work it out.
Can you see the nightmare?
Don't spook me. Okay.
What is this place?
It is the manifestation of your mind.
That's pretty cool. Why is it empty? Have you seen this before?
No, only in Drosten's head.
Was that a joke?
Not a very good one.
Oh.
So, Ace, I need you to lead me the way, and I'm gonna tell you something, and I want you to guide me to it. And I concentrate as I dig deeper. I say, "Show me the dream."
Ace is able to replay the dream. Spades is able to replay the dream pretty much image for image. You see the cloudy, surreal vision of three hags. You do recognize one of them to be the hag that you had met in the mountains of Western Schult. They toy and play over the top, point of view, Spade's eyes looking up as if resting on his back. The hags continue to talk, although they speak in a language that perhaps you don't understand. Do you understand Infernal?
No.
They speak in a very harsh, cruel, and violent almost sounding language. One of them turns.
Stop the image, and I enhance on something in the room. I use Ace's passive perception that he has, which is high as fuck. What did Ace see in the room?
Looking on the side. Looking to the side of this nightmare, you see that there is cages along the wall, and you hear bubbling of a boiling fluid. Other than that, the vision never, the focal point of the vision never leaves straight up, with the three crones around looking down.
Like I'm tied down.
This is horrifying. Spades. Especially that ugly one right there in the middle.
It appears to almost be the same sort of brickwork and chiseled stone as the rest of the tomb.
Can I make an investigation check of it?
No, because you already saw everything. How are you going to investigate a dream? You don't even necessarily know if it's real.
I start spinning the top. But only I know the weight of. Which I know if it was real, if I know really in the reality, it'll stop at one point.
You're going to have to use mind meld on one of the hags.
sorry, guys. It's a dream within a dream.
It's Inception.
So,
Jokes aside, you seem to have been in the possession of those hags at one point. For sure.
Would that be my creation?
I don't know. I don't know what created you, Ace. The Ace I know is missing his right hand. Because it's right here. And I pull out the spectral image of Ace's hand.
I take a good look at it. Does it look human?
Does it look human?
You're still like in his mind, right?
I make it look human? From my perspective and my memory, I thought it was human.
Yeah. So you pulled out a humanoid hand. It's definitely not Charles the iguana's hand.
Yeah, right? That smug bastard. Yeah, Ace. Well, we have part of you. We
Well.
could find the other part. But maybe you're right here. I want to trust you, man, but...
Well, you see pretty clearly that I'm not hiding anything.
Yeah.
So if there is anything to be feared, it's gonna surprise me,
I got-
me as well.
I got one last question I could ask you.
What's that?
Ace, are you under the command of any of these hags, or are you relaying any information to them? And I dig deeper.
You don't find anything.
Just,
You don't find an
Ends
answer,
of-
yes or no. It's blank.
endless empty halls.
In fact, aside from the dream and the things that he's experienced since he met you and foraging through armor and bits and pieces of scraps through the tomb, you can't find anything going further back.
So that's how he got the crossbow and the bits of clothing. He found them.
Before I leave Ace, I show him a memory of all of us at Crumb's funeral. And then I show him a memory of all of us the last night we were all together outside the tomb with Artis Simber and Dragonbait. And I show remembrances of like Iku, and even Shar.
Should show memories.
Even Char.
Should show memories of all the spells that he's casted.
Yeah, I show him all the memories of the spells he's casted, the monsters he's turned into, the good times.
The polymorphs, the rituals, incantations, the songs,
Yeah, we go like over an
the
hour.
pipes
or
of
so.
haunting.
Yeah, literally go over like an hour of stuff that's happened within the last month.
And I'm like over your shoulder, like, ooh, tell him about the zombie T-Rex. Oh, don't forget about the King of Feathers. That was crazy.
in his dream.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
a
like-
dream, right?
There's a little bit of like fudging there on the rolls of like
when
how
I wake
baby
up,
got
I
out of the
turn to
T-Rex.
Memphis and I say, I know Kung Fu.
That's awesome.
And
Dude.
going on upon that, I speak at length about how we are going to solve this puzzle. We are going to take down the Soul Monger, and we are going to do this triumphantly together. And I go on with my speech for 10 more minutes.
I believe it.
We will not go silently into the night.
And so now everyone gets 9 plus 5, 14 temporary hit points.
Woo!
Inspiring Leader is back.
Yes. 2 or 3 moments. Okay.
Not 140.
So,
Deleted
Oh,
ceremony.
my friends,
So I guess we're all awake then.
I assume that you relay some of the information and
About-
whatnot about the
about-
dream and
Yeah.
the experiences there.
Yeah.
Do you recall if Chrysanthemum was wearing the same clothing she was wearing when we originally met her?
Did it seem as though she was wearing the same clothing? I mean, I don't think hags have a huge wardrobe, right?
Was she?
She was, and she had this hideous necklace of finger bones and small shrunken skeletons all over it.
That sounds scary.
Yeah. She always looks wet, no matter what. Like,
Mm.
even when she's dry, it's just greasy wet.
One very important detail. It did appear as though the stones were the same as the tomb here. So I believe they're here.
The hags are here.
The hags are here.
Troshin starts sweating
And you
profusely
should.
at the conversation.
Oh, Pete! I'm never gonna make it out of here alive!
Oh, starts panicking, wiping his brow constantly.
And you. Oh. Never mind. Sorry. You're sure she was wearing a necklace?
Yeah, those shrunken heads.
Does Memphis recall Chrysanthemum wearing a necklace like that when he tried to put his hands around her throat?
Do you? Yep.
It seems that I do.
Alright.
Okay. So with that in mind, Memphis takes a minute and casts Locate Object on that necklace.
Okay. Your spell fails.
Oh shit!
She's here.
She's here.
She's here.
All right.
Likely she knows I tried to find her.
I will allow you to take the rest of the week to wonder why your spell failed.
Yeah. Is it because she wasn't wearing a necklace? Or because...
Outside of your range, perhaps.
Oh, he's got a pretty good range, but
1,000 feet.
anyhow, are you going to continue to muse over that, or would you like to solve the puzzle?
I think we had some inspiration on solving the puzzle.
BB slept on it and she's got some inspiration.
All right, well then, Vanna, tell them what they've won.
Woo! I want to solve that puzzle.
Solve the
Perhaps
puzzle.
you could just describe the overall idea you have.
Behind curtain number 1.
I think there's a set pattern that you have to step on, and that's when you'll unlock the top of the tomb. But you can step on any of the. If you step on the same ones before, it obviously won't work. There's 7 different tiles we have to step on. We know 2 of them are out, and we have to step on the vulture first, and then the snake second. That leaves the foot, which I had already stepped on, which I don't think is going to be the third one. The rod, the scarab, the reed, and the gate. The only one I haven't stepped on at all is the gate
Right.
and that egg.
Mm-hmm.
Egg?
The urn.
Or,
The urn, yes.
So 9.
well, since you don't know where you are in the pattern, because I believe there was a snake,
Yep.
or was that the only? There's only been 2 so far.
Yeah,
They've been
because
correct.
we stepped on a
Okay.
snake and it was wrong. And then we stepped on a snake and it was right.
Yeah, same thing with the vulture.
Right.
Okay, so you need to figure out where you are in the pattern. So go ahead and what comes after snake?
Well, I don't think it's foot. So we raise, or we lower Frederick back down after I cast Animate Dead again, right?
So you refresh your spell with Animate Dead. Takes you 10 minutes, and the interesting thing about that is you have to be within 10 feet of your skeleton. So
Did we pull him up?
I don't recall if you pulled him up or not,
We did.
although he is still on a rope.
I think we did
So
pull him
you
up.
are able to do that. You cast your Animate Dead on your skeleton to refresh the spell. Casting time is 1 minute. My apologies. And he is now back under your thrall for the next 24 hours.
I mean, he really never left, but
Right.
Happy
Yeah, well.
birthday!
Just so you know, I am keeping track of time, and should it be a lapse of judgment, you might find bony hands around your neck.
Frederick, why?
Yeah.
Et tu, Frederick?
It's been 24 hours.
That's my signal.
I've been waiting for this.
I made an
my
assessment.
Up and down that infernal rope.
All right.
So you lower him down. He is in the room, lands upon the dais.
All right. The first one he steps on right now is the vulture.
And he is engulfed in locusts.
Okay. So that tells me that we are probably at the snake. Still.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going for the third one. We already did vulture snake.
No, I was just making sure.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Back up onto the dais. Wait 1 minute.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
A moment later, locusts have disappeared.
The closest one I have not hit so far is this gate right here. A gate in general.
A door.
A door.
Yeah, a door. It's a door.
Can I get him to walk onto this side and then jump to that?
Certainly. The skeleton makes a 5-foot jump and lands upon the hieroglyphic tile of a door. And nothing happens.
Yay, doors
Yes.
number 3. Okay.
Okay. So we've got door out now. Or gate.
So now you're surrounded with Scarab you can go to, Reed, and then we have Vulture Snake.
I'm gonna take one step back onto Reed just to get it out of the way.
And nothing happens.
Reed! Not
On the roll.
R-E-A-D, but R-E-E-D.
Reed.
Double E.
So now we just have Scarab, Rod, and Urn.
Well, Scarab is close from there, so.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, let's step on the Scarab.
And nothing happens.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're getting good. When we said that we got it some inspiration, we were not lying.
Thanks,
Okay.
Spades.
So we've got Urn
And Rod. So this is where it gets tough.
and
And
Foot.
then it repeats.
And Foot. I
Foot
forgot
and-
Foot too, guys.
Oh, yeah, on foot.
Okay, so we have all three within range, so where to?
Alright, next one. Let's just try Urn.
And the skeleton is enshrouded in locusts as the Sphinx statues open their gaping mouths.
Back to Scarab and wait.
So we've got Rod and Foot. That's left.
A minute of the swarming insects, and your skeleton is standing there once again.
Rod and foot.
Okay, so I'm gonna step onto the Rod first.
Skeleton steps onto the scepter hieroglyph,
Scepter.
Scepter.
and nothing happens.
Onto the foot, which coincidentally is at the foot of the.
Yep. So I
Oh.
jump on. He jumps onto the foot last.
How much of a jump is that? 5 feet?
Not
We
really.
haven't
It's
done
not
our-
even a jump,
He can
actually.
like walk it.
Oh,
Is there
so
Urn in between?
No, he stepped right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Urn could be the next one in the line.
skeleton has already taken a step to
Oh,
the
yeah.
foot,
That's right.
and nothing happens.
There you go, foot.
So
Okay.
then to Urn.
Last
On the
one.
Urn.
Urn.
As the skeleton takes its next step onto the hieroglyph of the urn,
Everybody dies.
3 different things happen all at once. The sphinxes seem to close their eyes, the stone eyes on the sphinxes, as well as a large stone block right here slides down into the ground,
Oh,
Close your
revealing an
eyes.
exit.
Oh.
and then finally a seal around the coffin, and it opens itself partially.
I scream out.
Frederick, no! What's happening, BB?
Oh, I can't lie. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't lie.
Yeah, sorry. Never mind. Check on
Tell it.
that.
No, but really, what's
Yeah.
happening, BB?
Yeah, Frederick made it out. He did it, guys.
Frederick solved it?
Yeah.
Odds
Well
outstanding.
done, Frederick. So, wait. Now,
I'm afraid
Give
if
him a
anybody steps
Scooby
on the
snack.
tiles, it's just
Have
gonna
him
be like,
dance around.
that's what we need to find out real quickly.
Have him walk around.
All right, Frederick, this is your last task for the next 10 seconds. Step
Do
onto
the
any of the
hokey pokey.
tiles right now.
The skeleton steps onto a tile.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Which tile?
What tile do you want to step on?
Okay.
How evil is Jesse?
Yeah.
Step on the foot.
A little.
Stepped onto the
Evil.
foot.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
Have him just run circles on all the tiles.
Sure, yeah.
Well, no, because we know the vultures
How about
first.
just walk?
No, the foot is
Well,
wasted.
where's
Oh, right, but we know the vultures
entrance to
should
this
be
room.
first. So,
So
yeah.
why don't he just walk the path to
No,
the
we're good.
sarcophagus? We're
Let's
good.
hop down.
The
Let's do it.
sphinxes are done. Yeah, we climbed down. And
Well,
got-
you
I-
just
I-
walk down the rope.
I got some arcane
I
eye,
climbed
right?
down first.
Yeah, I had to have cast Arcane Eye, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
Can
didn't
you use
say
your
that.
arcane eye to look inside the tomb?
Yeah. It can go as far as you guys want it.
No, I mean take a look inside the
Inside
sarcophagus.
that hole.
Yeah. I
That's-
look inside the sarcophagus
Is
with
there
the
a
Arcane Eye.
white or a lich in there gonna kill us?
Oh,
Is there a
yeah.
white or lich inside?
Yeah, usually-
The lich is in there.
Face off.
You found a Sarac!
Full time.
Just a single boo.
Right?
You power word kill.
Who goes down first?
Nobody.
I do.
What's the arcane eye show us?
What does my dwarven eye see?
Your dwarven eye sees an open sarcophagus made of gold, seemingly solid, atop of a barge on a stone dais, surrounded by hieroglyphs, with 4 sphinx statues in the corners. The room is lit by 4 torches. There's a little bit of purple fungal growth along the wall, with a passage marked by fangs that you can kind of see through. And the skeleton is all really desecrated across some of the stone
Inside
floor.
the sarcophagus, though?
Inside the sarcophagus. You just asked what you see. Sorry.
I tried to say what was inside the sarcophagus. But
Alright, inside the sarcophagus, you see the delicate bones of a tiny almirage.
it's just an almirage.
It's an
It's just
almirage.
An almirage.
That's all you see. The bones of an
So
almirage.
You're saying the sarcophagus is open?
Yeah, the sarcophagus is open, guys. Hey,
I-
is it all gold all the way through?
It appears to be solid gold.
Oh my fudging gosh.
I head straight down.
Rope in hand, just.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
barely say like, hey, it's all gold. You just see
He's already gone. He's like got his hands on the coffin. What'd you say?
The word gold.
So you push the lid completely open, and it looks like it's solid gold. You don't see any bit of stonework on the thing at all. Everything you see on this coffin is gold. The bones themselves are not gold. They appear to be actual bones of an almirage. Spiral horn intact.
Anything else inside there?
Nothing.
Spiral horn intact.
Oh my gosh.
Don't touch the horn.
Who wants to put the horn on?
I like horns.
Yeah, I bet you do.
At this point, I'm going to follow.
Attack flame.
On the rope, going down, you slide down, kind of almost land piggyback onto a skeleton before you dismount and land onto the stone dais.
I'm gonna let all my friends go down first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tie off the rope to one of the horns.
I was wondering if you were going to say that. I kind of hoped you were just going to take the rope and jump in.
Nope. I'm thinking about it.
30-foot fall.
He'd be
I thought about
He'd
it.
be okay. He's got Charles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Charles would be
Charles.
fine.
No,
Just
just-
jump onto
just
Charles
hangs
and
on
land
Yeah,
on
just
Charles.
land on Charles, right?
No Charles.
No falling damage.
Nang nang.
Uh,
Where is he, Jin?
I start casting Identify on the horn.
Just like, fuck you, Charles. Throw him and like he just slowly going.
Because I let you cast Identify with Mage Hand, you take the horn up into your Mage Hand to begin to identify it. You ask Ning Ning about the Almirage Ai Jing, and he replies to you. In the coffin, he's there. Take the gold. Take it, take the gold.
Something troubling you, Memphis?
Not at all.
Okay. You're
Maybe-
doing that thing where you're speaking to something inside your head.
Maybe how we're gonna get all this gold out of here, or how I am, anyways. Maybe the boat. I think that's why Sarah
So-
left it.
Oh, you're gonna
Drag
leave
your
it?
boat out.
When Charles goes to take falling damage, which he can't, does he glide down or does he fall
Like
straight
the
down?
lizard, like the flying
So does he
lizard.
just, like,
Land
float?
like in Jumanji,
He
man.
bounces.
He's just
Okay.
there.
So if I were to grab the lizard and just jump, it wouldn't just get
Oh, like
me
Mary
that slow.
Poppins.
It would just fall.
You cannot Mary Poppins the lizard on your way.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know what? Go ahead and try. Maybe it'll work.
No.
Mary
You ever heard of like the tails that fall
The only way
off?
that would work
Why
is
did
if
you say that? Come on. Ruin my fun.
Oh man.
No.
Uh,
So
that's
does
good.
Drawson have to do any checks since he's tied off to the horn, or
I'm going to go ahead and go with the roll that you had earlier and say that you successfully tied the rope off to the horn, no problem, and that you have slid down there to join your companions. It's at this time that Spades has the horn in your ghost hand, and you've gained insight into it. It actually functions as a magical wand.
With what properties?
It is none other than the Wand of Wonder.
Oh my gosh. None other than the wand of wonder.
okay?
I can see that you might like some additional information about the Wand of
I can
Wonder.
look it up. But
So allow me to
castle the time.
go to the page.
Yes.
Allow
Ace
me
is
to
doing
sate
like
your
full-on
curiosity.
anime pose right now with the Wand of Wonder.
No,
There you go,
no, it's not an
Yeah.
anime pose. He's straight up like Freddy. Just
Right? Yeah.
The wand
Exactly.
has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges and choose a target within 120 feet of you. The target can be a creature, an object, or a point in space. Roll a d100 and consult the following table to discover what happens. You may cast Slow, you may cast Fairy Fire, you could be stunned until the start of your next turn, believing something awesome just happened.
Right?
You may cast Gust of Wind. You may cast Detect Thoughts on the target you choose. If you didn't choose a creature, you instead take 1d6 psychic damage. You may cast a Stinking Cloud. You could cause heavy rain that falls in a 60-foot radius centered on the target. The area becomes lightly obscured and the rain falls until the start of your next turn. You could have an animal appear in an unoccupied space nearest the target. The animal is not under your control and acts as it normally would. You would roll an additional d100 to determine what animal appears. It may be a rhinoceros, an elephant, or a rat.
Oh god.
You also could potentially cast Lightning Bolt. You could also cast a cloud of 600 oversized butterflies that fill a 30-foot radius centered on the target. The area becomes heavily obscured, and the butterflies remain for 10 minutes. You could also potentially cast Enlarge. You could enlarge the target as if cast by the Enlarge or Reduce spell. If the target can't be affected by that spell, or if you didn't target a creature, you become the target. If the creature causes you to cast a spell from the, or if the effect causes you to cast a spell from the wand, the spell save is 15. The spell normally has a range expressed in feet. It becomes 120 feet if it isn't already. If the effect covers an area, you must center the spell on and include the target. If an effect has multiple possible targets, the DM randomly determines which ones are affected. The wand regains 1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the wand's last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the wand crumbles into dust and is destroyed.
so don't use them all.
So this is a
Yep.
last resort kind of
This
situation.
thing is incredibly powerful.
Oh yeah.
Man, I wish I could see that butterfly storm though. Or like the patch of grass.
Smotherwing butterflies.
Were there more things that it could cast that you said? Okay,
What was
I'm
on
reading
it?
through more.
Do you have more?
In this one.
Oh, really?
So no, it's okay. I'm going by yours. This is the wiki. In any case, it's extremely powerful. It's a rare item.
Requires attunement by a spellcaster.
Fantastic. I think you should use it, Spades.
I will hold on to it unless Insidious.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I wasn't done. You may cast Darkness. You could cause grass to grow on the ground in a 60-foot
I read
radius.
Grass.
There's a couple other
Is it?
Grass.
An object of the DM's choice disappears into the ethereal plane. The object is neither worn nor carried within 120 feet of the target. You may cast Shrink on yourself as if you had cast Enlarge Reduce. You could cast Fireball. You could cast Invisibility on yourself. Leaves grow. You could have leaves grow from the target, at which point in space, as the target, leaves sprout from the creature nearest to that point. Unless they are picked off, the leaves turn brown and fall off after 24 hours. A stream of 1d4 times 10 gems, each worth 1 gold point, shoots from the wand's tip in a line 30 feet long and 5 feet wide. Each gem deals 1 bludgeoning damage, and the total damage of the gems is divided equally among all creatures in the line.
Oh my god.
You
Roman
may
candle.
shoot a burst of colorful shimmering light extends from you in a 30-foot radius. You and each creature in the area that can see must succeed a DC 15 con save or become blinded for 1 minute.
That's
You
a
can
Roman
repeat
candle.
the saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
It's all
The
red.
target's skin turns bright blue for 1d10 days. If you chose a point in space, the creature
That's
nearest to the point is affected. If you target a creature, you must make a DC 15 con save. If you didn't target a creature, you become the target and must make a saving throw.
Okay.
If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the target is instantly petrified. On any other failed save, the target is restrained and begins to turn to stone. While restrained in this way, the target must repeat the saving throw at the end of its next turn, becoming petrified on a failure or ending the effect on a success. Petrification lasts until the target is freed by greater restoration spell or similar magic.
Wow.
There you go. That's
So
the
no
rest
matter
of it.
what hits it, it can turn it to stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredibly powerful. What do we think that the spirit is like?
Let's find out.
Let's take a look.
Right, there's only two of us that are possessed right now. Give it a shot. Might as well find out.
So what I remember from the IGN.
Trickster gods for everybody.
Right? Trickster
Yeah,
gods.
you
it's
got
like
trickster
it's
gods.
like the
You got
trickster
trickster
of all the
gods.
trickster gods.
Yeah,
Which
right.
one's this one?
This one is the least expected path. Is all I've got written down.
Oh man. You just juggle the
So
gods.
from the story,
It's
IGN.
gonna randomize my actions or something crazy.
Maybe it's like a rabbit. Movement speed.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, he was a frog.
Could be a rabbit.
Well, we have a way of removing it, right?
Yeah.
And if that's
Everyone
the case,
okay with Spades taking this?
yeah, and if that's the
Do you really want to get rid of Obalaka that bad?
it makes their life difficult.
You'll lose the ability to attune to one more item.
That's fine, but I'm tired of being scared all the time.
I mean, you know, Justin,
Everything's terrifying.
a little bit of caution wouldn't hurt. I'm just saying.
It's not a little bit of caution. I'm terrified of everything.
Hey, what does Obalaka think about IGN?
Too unpredictable. Too unpredictable. You never know. You never know what he's going to do.
Too
It's a wand of
unpredictable.
wander on an unpredictable.
The mage hand is now moving the
Horn
unicorn
to your
horn.
head.
Boom! Yes.
Always I want to be.
And I do not try and resist.
Fantastic.
Finally.
Streamers of light emanate from the tip of the horn as
Yes.
ephemeral,
Kinda clever part
colorful,
doesn't take
colorful ribbons encircle you, and confetti blows over everything.
The sparkles.
As sparkles and glitter and unicorns
Oh,
and
God.
butterflies. They form into a spectral rabbit with a singular horn on its brow. A female voice whispers, "Quick, quick, let me in. We must stop a Serac."
Absolutely.
And
Welcome to my mind, pal.
Give me something fun.
straight through your chest and into your soul. Ijin now possesses you. You are containing the spirit of an Almirage. It is fickle and unpredictable.
Oh god.
Your new flaw, which trumps any overriding or opposing flaws, you never stick to a plan.
Oh,
All right.
Your power,
He sets up plans.
while
The
Ijin,
plan.
your power, while Ijin inhabits you, your dexterity score becomes 23.
Oh crap.
Whoa.
That's godly.
Okay.
There you go.
That is godly.
Wow.
You seem spry.
So, do you like automatically win on all like?
Dex rolls.
Wow.
So perfect.
Ace is like a flip wizard now.
Yeah, no, so I just jump in the air and I just don't come down for a while. I'm spinning.
It's like 12
Right.
games.
I land. That was amazing!
Yes.
Too bad you don't have your loot, or I would suggest all of a sudden bust out some Van Halen Eruptor.
Yeah.
Right?
Just
I do have
shredding
these
mad riffs.
pipes. No.
Yeah. You did implant the memories of the pipes, right?
What's
You
the
didn't
what's
leave
the
that
plan
out.
though? You never play the pipes? That's the plan?
Never. No.
Just messing with you. Let's go!
And speaking of which, Ijin also has a mortal enemy,
No.
Obalaka.
Oh.
Obalaka has a mortal enemy, Ijin. The two of you hate each other.
Oh, great.
What's that? What's that, EJ? What?
Cast him to the wind. He's boring cur. He means nothing to us. Oh, he's so fickle. Not fickle. Stuck in routine. How boring. He's a boring person. Absolutely dull. Just look at that dull look on his face. Kick him in the balls.
I got
Don't wait. Let's go get lunch. Fantastic idea. Let's get lunch. Ooh, shiny.
I like you already.
What's a luck saying?
Stay away. Stay away. Unpredictable. Ejin will kill us all. You can't trust her. You don't know what she'll do. Look at her. She's plotting against us right now.
Okay.
Insidious. You want to join on this? I mean, we've got
So,
Charles. the
Charleston
wizard,
currently no longer wants to find spades any gear.
So what am I grabbing?
You,
What's up?
It can
for,
roll
what's up
for
for
our
grabs?
life.
well, you can steal the necklace from Charles and get wisdom saves.
Chucky?
Wow.
I think
Okay.
that if you do have to use your glowing hands, we should hit Charles with it too. Just
You're
smack the lizard.
That's insane.
No, peasant.
That's fun.
I love that so much.
Don't do it, peasant. You obey me. You obey me. I am your
I don't
lord
want no
now.
artifact. I'm good.
You
I
want
still got the staff of striking.
You can have Moa, you know?
So-
that one's always good.
BB, why don't you go send your little eye through that chamber that opened up and see what we can see?
Yeah, well, how about after 1 hour, okay? I'll get rid of detect. I will get rid of Hololaka for you, okay? Alright. So when the eye runs out, we'll exercise Drostin.
Very well.
Alright?
And Charles.
And Charles.
He's a fucking nuisance now.
Wait, can't you now take the amulet off of Charles and give it to Insidious?
But as soon as Charles is exercised, he'll become possessed by it.
Right. So just leave Charles possessed and give him the necklace.
Oh
Does it
shit,
work
what
like
if we
that?
do that like with every one of them?
If you attune to it, yeah, but yeah,
I
you,
guess
you
that's-
lose
yeah.
the secondary power,
Without the
but-
possession.
which
Yeah,
is
you don't get the
the-
possession.
the Constitution bump to 19.
Right, and no falling damage, which you don't really need
No,
any extra.
the
stat.
amulet itself is what
Yeah.
gives the Constitution bonus. You don't get any falling damage, and being
Wisdom
possessed by
saves.
that god, wisdom checks.
Advantage on all wisdom skills.
All wisdom checks.
So you won't have that, but you'll have an amulet of health, which is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down.
So
I can do that.
I say give it to him. It'll take him some time to attune to it, but
But are we still gonna get rid of Charles's?
Might as well. I mean,
I mean, we don't have to.
if he
do
gets
it.
possessed, it's only going to benefit wisdom checks.
I see no
Yeah.
reason to waste a 5th level spell slot on a wizard.
Well, it won't be wasting because it'll be used on me, but the hands will still be glowing.
Yeah,
So
I
the
get
hands
that.
they just smack the lizard,
Oh,
kind of
right.
like how
Right, right. How
BB
we
was
did
like,
both, yeah.
and then
I
went over
got
to you and was like,
Sure.
Can we remember this? And then you teleported and then turned it like petrified yourself.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And then Spades had to save you.
Alright. Give me a voice.
Spades, I always trusted you.
I need
He
another voice
didn't
in my
trust you
head.
at all.
It's alright, it's alright, it's
Things
alright.
are going sideways.
I'm leaving the room.
Yeah.
May I have that?
I'm walking.
this?
Yeah.
I'm walking into the
There's
entrance
two
that just
here.
opened.
So I can walk with
Okay.
eyeball on. It's just like telepathy.
Once I hit the doorway, I stealth.
Drostin, little pass without trace for the homies.
Ace,
Right then.
Spade, you coming back at all, or you just gonna go?
I'm gonna go check this place out over here.
Okay.
Drawson cast pass without trace.
I stick next to Drostin. Spades, I don't think you should travel off by yourself.
That
I
sounds
go
like a good
invisible
plan.
and I
Keep
follow-
going.
I go invisible and then I start following
Right
Ace.
then, Spades, why don't
Spade.
you go off that way and we'll stay here together.
Insidious?
Yeah, I'm already
Are you
walking
coming?
out.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
with you.
Yeah, but you don't
But I
follow
like
mine.
the reverse psychology aspect. That's good.
Here you
So
are.
we all head out.
You step into the next area. As you come around the corner, Spades is the first person to notice. The corridor turns sharply. At the corner, just after the turn, a peephole is carved into a stone wall at a height of 6 feet.
Right here.
Yeah.
A peephole?
Duck underneath it.
I'm doing perception check in the area.
Is that what that is right there?
This little outcropping right there, yeah. While he's
Perception check.
perception checking, I want to have Starfallen go look
Not
through
good.
the peephole and tell me what she sees.
Well, you search the area and you're kind of looking around this, and it looks like a peephole, and you can see that it opens on one end and seems to come out of the block on the other. Starfallen emerges from it, and I try to look through it, Memphis, but I'm unable to see anything in there. Something is blocking my ghostly vision.
Like there's something physically in there.
Like, right, something physically in there, Starfallen, or a spell, or some sort of essence.
I am unable to say.
Okay.
Quick question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Starfallen, will your finger fit inside? Can you just feel around in there a little bit?
Finger this hole.
Memphis, if you would look closer, you would see that it has a glass lens on it.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, my mistake.
Perhaps you should look through it.
Well, you are a ghost. I don't understand why.
Has my torch burnt out yet?
Wait, Charles.
It's on its last ember right now. Yeah, you're gonna need a new light source real soon.
Let's have Charles.
Turn to spades. Like, right now that you remember all of your spells, can you cast those fancy lights?
Let the light in. Boom. And I cast 5 dancing lights around us.
Okay. The lights burst into existence and surround you, illuminating the entire chamber.
Yay.
You can now see the people much better. Just by looking at it, you can see that there are actually probably layers of lenses in there. You don't even have to really look straight through it. Looks like it's some sort of looking device.
Looker Mathani.
I mean, I'll take a look in there. Why not?
Memphis looks into the peephole, and inside you are greeted with a magical vision of a dial. And the dial itself has opened itself entirely, as you can see, and it cycles through a sequence of hieroglyphs, starting with a vulture, and then to a snake.
Oh, yeah, it would have been easy to know if coming from this direction.
Oh my goodness.
Wait.
So
Wait.
So I look inside, and then I look up and I look around at everyone all concerned, and then I look back in, and I close it, and I'm like,
We went through here?
there's nothing important in there.
Yeah, feeling sheepish.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely not relevant to the larger dungeon as a whole. I say we move on.
Right, I think we should ask. I think we should ask Bibi to look in the eye holes.
Bismuth looks up at it and realizes that she's 2 feet too short.
I thought this tomb was made by dwarves.
It's a good point, actually.
They just step on top of each other to fucking look through this hole,
It's like minions.
How did they build the ceiling?
It's like minions.
right?
Well, the tomb was made by dwarves, but it was made for fools like us.
Yes, for real.
Just
You
another,
fools don't remember the history of this tomb at all.
just another sign of racial appropriation. Goddamn humans.
Where do you go now? You see that there is actually a crawl space leading.
I'm
Up.
gonna look in the people just because I was told not to.
You look into the people and you see the hieroglyphs spinning on a
I
dial.
just shake my head.
It becomes absolutely apparent to you.
You son of a bitch.
You have a crawl space leading
snicker.
towards the north. It is much like the crawl space that you had seen in the hallway with the Juggernaut. Kind of trapezoidal in shape, wider at the bottom, thinner at the top. Aside from that, you have a hallway that goes further to the south. There is a small little opening off to the side of it where it diverges. You believe you see a stone door set into that little passage. Other than that, it goes further south and turns around a corner. The purple fungal growth here is a lot stronger and thicker.
Do you see any eyeballs inside of this fungus?
At the moment, no, you do not.
I'm at the back of the pack, I think.
Hmm?
I think I'm at the back of the pack, by the way.
Okay.
Do you still have your arcane eye?
Mhm.
Can it go check out this little side passage here?
Yeah, I can.
Let's see what's there.
He
I
draws
summon the
it.
arcane eye through the
It's a
hole.
trap.
Was that
It
where
has
you
dark
looked
vision.
No, I looked right through this.
Right, I don't think we should go that way then. That's the wrong way.
I'm not going to scratch it off, actually. Your arcane eye passes into the tunnel. It goes north very quickly takes a turn to the east, goes down maybe something about 40, 50 feet before it turns to the south again. It turns left, it turns right, it goes straight, it turns right again, and pops out. And you all of a sudden, the eye is in a room, a hallway, and at one end you see that there. Well, here I'm gonna have to tell you exactly what you see before I miss one of the important details, and that is there are still puddles of water that cover the floor of a 15-foot wide hallway. The walls are slick with moisture and set with murals of animal-headed humanoids in armor, most of which appear to brandish real weapons hanging on the walls. A 3-foot-high crawlway in the east wall is flush with the floor, where the eye just emerged from. At the far end of the hall is a rippling, transparent curtain of water that fills a stone archway. Beyond the curtain, you see another hallway that looks similar to the one in which you already stand. Well, hover in an eyeball form.
It appears to be another hallway, guys. It's flooded with water, though, right? It's not flooded. It's got puddles of water all over it.
Mm-hmm. So here's the shimmery wall of water. Here's where the arcane eye is.
And that appears to be a mirror of this.
And
That room in there is the same as this room.
yeah.
Oh, so like a... But there's more of the fungus. So
Right,
this
so
is
this-
like the end of the hallway?
Well, it could.
Oh,
Could
guys,
be.
it went
Yeah.
all the way around.
Right. Right. That's
goes
what I was
around.
thinking. Yeah.
Why would it go around, though?
Why would that be better?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What's in here?
What is that?
What's on the pedestals, right? You said they were armored?
Armored.
With weapons.
Yeah.
Pictures of humanoids with animal heads.
What are the animal heads?
Oh, so yeah, it did go around.
Yeah.
So,
Did we miss a room?
Well, we just
Yeah,
have.
there's a
we're
door
still
there.
right here, and so he
Oh,
sent
but
his
he
eye.
sent-
We don't
Yeah.
know unless he describes it.
went down and around.
All right. Well, shall we go around and see what we can see? Maybe check out this door.
Mm-hmm. I say we check out the door.
Yeah.
But dispel the purple slime.
Okay,
Spell it?
moving over to the door,
Mm-hmm.
you go to
Get
open
rid
it.
of it.
I didn't take that.
As you open the door, you look inside and you see that this chamber contains a stone font filled with a steaming green liquid. Beyond it, a shadowy figure stands at an open door on the far side of the room. The figure's back is toward you.
So which room is this now that we just right here?
Do we still have pass the trace on us?
Only people within 10 feet of you.
I'm always right behind Justin to give him the first floor.
There you
I
go.
am invisible.
You see that room? There is a cauldron in the center, and there is a figure with its back towards you standing in an open doorway.
This open doorway here.
That open doorway there.
I will cast Divine Sense,
Okay?
silently blowing out.
As you do so, the figure seems to bring its hands together in front of it. And as you cast Divine Sense, you do not detect any undead, celestial, or fae in the area.
What do you see?
Well, as a man that seems to be not undead or of a heavenly nature or of a fae nature.
Did it move as you moved?
Right then, we might as well go in. Except not me first.
It did, in fact, move as I moved. Its hands came up as mine did.
Can you try more things?
I put up my right arm,
Put your finger in your nose.
bring it out this way. It seems to be
Scratch your
following.
butt.
I take.
Okay.
I lift up one foot. Put it into the room.
It
No?
lifts up its
All right,
foot.
I come back. Okay. Yeah, it definitely follows me.
Close the door.
Okay.
Is there?
Close the door.
I will.
We don't need two Memphises.
No. I will. I will crawl into the room up on the wall.
the figure does the exact same thing and disappears into the darkness of the next room.
Of the next room.
Yes.
Ralston.
I back
try.
up.
As you
Right,
back
that's
up,
why I
the
said I
figure
shouldn't go
seems to
first.
back into the room as you are backing through the door.
Is there a way that I can
Speeds in front.
make my shadow approach the pot?
As you back up further, it mirrors exactly what you were doing and backs up to stand next to the pot with its back to the pot as you face into the room towards it.
It's a pot of boiling liquid in the middle.
Steaming green liquid.
What happens if I use my shadow to dip, if I use my hand to dip the shadow's hand into the pot?
Like a cauldron?
Yeah.
Hags?
Ow.
So you take your hand and dip into an imaginary pot, and your shadow dips its hand into the actual pot.
Yeah.
Pull your hand out, and you both seem to be okay. The shadow seems, its hand seems to have caused a disturbance in the pot, though it doesn't look like anything is different right now.
I slap the surface.
The surface of the disgusting green soup splashes a little.
Jump in.
Push it over.
Stir it around.
I use my mage hand to go and not the shadow, but my mage hand to slap the surface.
With your mage hand you cast out goes into the room and you slap the surface of the pot, and the hand dips into the cauldron and does not cause any kind of disturbance into the disgusting soup.
Well, it seems as though my shadow is able to affect the substance, but not myself.
Right, you should have your shadow push it over.
I was thinking that.
I agree.
I agree with Spades. Perhaps I should try and
Open the other door.
Can we give your shadow an object?
It's hard to be the king.
I mean, it's all my soup anyway. So
It's just gross.
You get inspiration.
The soup is mine.
I'll have some. I use my shadow.
You turn to cause your shadow to start slurping soup, and as your shadow dips its hands into this soup, actual soup seems to come out and disappear into the shadow. The soup itself drains a lot more than should have been possible with just a handful, but it is noticeably less.
This is how Dumbledore died.
More. Water. Water, Harry.
Your shadow continues to drink the soup from this basin, and it is about a minute or so before your shadow has completed, and seemingly has now drunk approximately 5 gallons of soup.
Oh God.
Is this like stomach? Does like this?
The shadow just keeps going and going, and like the more it does so, you kind of catch a glimpse time to time, and you're like noticeably surprised on how deep this cauldron of soup had actually gone.
Well,
Okay.
At which point the shadow seems to have got nothing else, and the duplicate shadow itself
crazy.
dissipates and kind of fades away.
And what's left in the bottom is
It
an
ate
amulet
itself.
with a snake on the amulet.
Good show, Memphis.
Stop, Owen. Go see what's inside of that pot.
Is the door open? Like, how are you doing this?
Yeah, the door's open. I'm in the doorway.
Starfallen emits from the pot
Something like Peter Pan.
and looks inside of it. And she says that do you want me to retrieve it for you? It appears to be some sort of small artifact.
It's an amulet.
It's
with
an
a snake.
amulet with a snake on it.
Yeah, grab it. Grab it.
She reaches down into the pot and she procures a tiny
Amulet.
little eyeball made of crystal.
Oh my god.
Oh, does it look just like...
It does. It looks a lot like the other ones, although this particular eyeball
You're a wizard, Harry.
is orange.
orange? So we've got orange,
Blue, red.
blue. And,
No, purple.
and-
Purple.
Purple and blue.
Yeah.
Dark
You have it
blue
written
and
down?
purple.
I didn't write it down.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I
It's
did.
right there,
Oh, I did blue purple. Yeah.
This particular shade of
Now we
orange
have-
is an incandescent orange.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say orange?
Yeah,
Yeah.
incandescent orange.
I put all three of them up. And I'm like, Ace, shine your lights through it.
Sure.
We get a cool disco
Line 'em
ball
up.
effect, like the
It
lights.
just reflects.
Yeah, like just
like
different
shining a laser
colors,
through
you know?
gems and stuff.
Mm.
I start dancing.
Nice.
So
Pretty.
here is all three of them.
Oh.
There we go. There's
Nice.
our eyes.
Oh yeah, exactly. Perfect. Cool.
Oh,
Ace or spades.
You don't know. That's,
Perfect.
Toss
that
it
goes
to you.
over.
I grab it.
Since you've got the other two,
Pop the other two in pocket.
right?
My raggedy clothes.
Hey, wait. I take the bandana and I take my seamstress skills out and I patch up his stupid clothes.
With your bandana, you
Could I have done that over the rest?
no.
No, I didn't say it. Alright, sorry.
With the bandana, you cut it into a couple of squares and you make a few makeshift patches in his clothes. Over the time, over 10 minutes, you sew on a few patches, and he's looking very patchwork now.
Yeah,
But there are less holes in it.
Thank you.
it's my raggedy bard.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Raggedy Bard.
Keep it up, and you might get a jester hat.
Raggedy
Yeah.
Bard.
It's like a raggedy
I'm
and
a
We got one
better-
boot for him now
Raggedy
too, right?
spades.
What, man?
Right.
We got one boot for
Yeah,
him now.
he's got one boot for a dwarven foot. They're
Yeah.
extra wide.
Hey, you got
What
some
a
of that
train
glue?
wreck.
Yeah, I do.
Can I glue this horn to my head?
You want to glue?
No, I'm just fucking with you. Let's get out of here.
So can we? Is this door open?
Yeah.
All right. What's through it, BB? While you still have this.
Only 10 feet of a hallway that ends into a solid wall.
suspicious.
Oh yeah, like there's a secret door, huh? Is that what's gonna be here?
Okay. So
check.
I'll advance through the door. Can I scratch it out?
Both
since you
sides
said
closed. Lava pours into the room.
Don't give him any ideas.
it? Oh no, this place is much weirder than that. It'll be like wine or farts or something.
Fart.
Oh
Fuck
god.
loud.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Sonic
not just fart
burst.
cloud.
Yeah, it's just fuck.
Vampiric fart cloud.
There you go. That's all you see.
TCU 5 Constitution. Wow,
Okay.
that was really.
All right, remember Memphis. Every time you open these, you gotta go like this.
Yeah, it is that.
Right?
It has been so far. Okay, so who
With his head,
Is-
a great sense of humor.
much better than me at finding secret doors?
Probably Ace. He's probably the best.
I know Ace was good at it, BB, but Ace is gone. We have spades.
He's finally putting terms.
You want me to try? Anybody else have the
More ace.
have an advantage
Yeah,
on some
I
wisdom
give
checks?
him some guidance on this. I say,
And
Ace,
you know what?
you
I'll
know what you need to
assist.
do is touch the top part usually, and then like step on some sort of platform on the side.
Yeah, I agree with BB.
Okay. I got +5.
Snap of the step.
Yeah.
There we go. That's pretty good.
You have advantage, right? I'm assisting you.
Am I getting an
Yeah.
advantage?
Isn't that how it works? I'm
Did
helping him.
Did you
It's
bless?
it's performing a task.
I gave you guidance. That's a +4.
Okay.
If it is perform,
That's real good.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
What is it?
23.
Search the room, top to bottom, left to right, poking and prodding on the stones. You've come to one area where you were convinced that there has to be something there. One hand up, the other down. Nothing.
Oh.
God damn it. Sorry.
Sorry,
Ace.
guys. I feel like I really did a good quality search.
Right, onward then. Back to the tunnel.
Definitely is an ace.
Is there still a shadow there at all?
Ouch.
Not Ace.
Too soon?
Wait, is there a
That
shadow?
was uncalled for.
Had to.
It's okay.
It was there.
It's alright.
What
what's
do you
up?
do?
Head out.
I
Back-
start
back the other
heading
way.
back towards the.
You back? You
Yeah.
head back?
No, like back out of the room and then
Yeah.
start towards this.
Take
Yeah.
a left
To the
that
agua.
way.
Which way?
This way here.
Okay.
They go back to being invisible again.
Out.
So strong.
You head south, around the corner,
My eyeball leads the way, 30 feet ahead.
and you all once again find yourselves in well, you all find yourselves now in the room that Bismuth, I believe, had described. I'm
With the
assuming.
water.
With water.
Mhm.
Puddles of water. Animals on the walls. Or people with animal heads on the walls holding weapons. The weapons themselves are actually real and are actually on a rack so that they are supported on the wall while they are made to look like they are being held by the artistic motif.
I
Cool.
see.
That's cool.
I see. So it's a trick of the eye.
I fill
Yeah.
up our water supplies.
How tall are the ceilings?
As most of the hallways, the ceilings in this room
Why is
are
it bad?
10 feet.
So theoretically, I
You
could
don't
be
know
on the
what the
ceiling and still extend the benefits of my aura. to everyone.
Yes.
All right, so I do that. I go up on the ceiling.
Oh my god. You guys want me to cast
Isn't that a
water?
little
wall?
creepy?
I don't think it's
It's a little
really deep.
creepy.
I just look down. I'm like, what's so
What if it's
creepy
evil?
about it?
I'm
Could
top
be
of my
even
head,
more.
like, is there any bald spots up there?
Just trying to make it.
Does
Good,
Obalaka have
actually.
anything to say about the water on the floor?
Obalaka
It's
is
electrifying.
terrified of most everything right now and is like, don't drink it. Don't drink the water. I've seen what happens when people drink the water in this place. It's maddening. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I reach down.
I don't like the statues.
Right.
I don't like the weapons on the
I
wall.
smack BB's hand. Smack the water out of BB's hand before BB
There's
can
a
drink
little
it.
bit inside my mouth, at least. Like,
Do you have anything to back the weapons with? Back the weapons. They're sharp. Sharp. And they're rusty. Have you had tetanus?
the fucking wall.
Tetanus?
It's just a big fucking.
Right, I don't think tetanus has been invented yet.
Does it?
Nobody invented tetanus. It's a
Ramblings
disease,
of
you
a
fool.
madman.
Don't think they have a shop for it yet. At
So-
least I'm not a doctor.
What's over here? Can we see now that we're in this room?
The south
No,
side.
there's a waterfall there.
Just
Well,
pick up the paper.
Hold on. Yeah, you look at the paper. Paper's pretty much what you see right there.
So what about all this?
Hold on. Allow me to explain something a little bit further, because now that you were standing in here,
This is the water rising up to the end
from north to south, the creatures on the walls are frog-headed females with tridents, goat-headed males with sickles, unarmed hawk-headed females, panther-headed males with blowguns, lizard-headed females with maces, and a stork-headed males with hand axes. And one of the storks has the crawlway between his legs.
Okay. So just like
The ones who are unarmed, do they still have pegs where a weapon could be? Like, are there pegs on the wall where, like, if we took one?
They're all armed. There were no
I
unarmed
thought you
ones.
said they were unarmed.
No, stork-headed males with hand axes, lizard-headed females with maces, panthers with blowguns, unarmed hawk-headed females.
Yeah.
I was mistaken. I did not see that.
Guys,
They
can I have one
do
of those
not
hand
have
axes?
pegs. No. They do not have pegs.
What was that?
Can I have one of those hand axes? I want a ranged weapon for so gosh darn long.
I use my. You really want me to take it off the wall?
I don't see
Probably
why not.
Bad idea.
I'm wondering if these things can come alive.
Well, if they do,
Sounds
it's
good. I'll
supposed
take
to
it
be
off the wall.
sure
Yeah. You grab a hand axe,
With mage hand.
up into the air, floating
Float it
in
over to
front of you.
BB. Here you go.
Sweet. Is it a
We
regular
have a
hand
hand
axe?
axe.
You and a hand axe for
Awesome.
you.
It's rusty, but
It still works,
It
right?
works.
I can clean it up.
yeah. It's not in poor condition.
Is it dwarven?
No. It is.
It's not dwarven.
It is
scrap.
very mundane and strictly utilitarian.
Oh man. Well, that's how it goes. Thank you, Ace.
And
Yeah,
so
it's stayed.
It's a Vorpal axe.
all of the weapon racks and everything, they're all before this shimmery wall, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then right here the storks are, and then what's this?
What was the thing on the side of the wall?
That is, as you go over there, you see that there are unarmed hawk-headed females. As you are investigating it, though, to Memphis's quick eye, you quickly realize that that is merely an illusion. And you pass your hand through the area of the hawk-headed female to find that secret room I forgot to cover up.
Oh, right here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, there you go. Well done, detective.
That maybe will be the first and only secret door I've found in this whole room, in this whole dungeon, and it's because the dungeon master forgot.
I'm pretty sure you found a secret genie bottle, so.
Well, that's true. And then I pissed it off, so.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying not to see.
Yeah. Nothing.
Just slam your head into the water and then
The,
use your sonar.
What's in here?
This
Talking dolphin.
particular room is only 5 feet wide and 8 feet tall. The illusion has hidden a damp room, and the alcove contains a plinth bearing a crystal eyeball, 1 inch in diameter. You happen to see a bright green eyeball.
Oh my gosh.
I use Starfallen, and I have her pluck it off and hand it to me.
Life of servitude, if I must.
That's right.
Here you are.
Thank you. And I like poke my head out from the illusion, like body half in, half out.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm like, here's Spades.
It's another hawk.
Green? Yeah. And then I just like crab walk because it freaks you all out.
Quite unnerving.
What the hell is happening, guys?
We have
Can you go through this shimmery wall there?
I try to push the eye through it first.
Yeah. Well, Starfallen could take a little peek through first and see what happens.
Can't you?
Well, we'll see.
I mean, my eyeball.
Oh yeah, your arcane eye. Let's use that.
Yeah.
Now you said it was identical to us, like a mirror, but do we see ourselves in that side, or?
You do not see yourselves on that side. And Starfallen emerges from the lamp, and she does proceed to move down and out and towards the waterfall.
She explodes into a million tiny pieces.
And if I may take up a bit more room of this table,
I'm sick of her.
We'll see.
She blows up.
I will now.
We don't need a Sarais wings.
It is very good to kill.
Can you pour me a cup, my friend? Thank you. There's all of the tequila.
However much you want.
Slide that that way. Oh, look at that. Pay no attention to that room behind the curtain.
Right.
Moving your stuff down.
Yeah, dude.
What is this? Just keep pulling me up here. Any eraser? Any eraser? What the devil is going on here? Alright.
What in the? I'll say what in the?
What? Hell. Oh, hell no.
I'll say what?
Oh, you see that, guys? He doesn't have a piece for this. It means it never existed.
Oh, look. Cover your left eye.
Is that what that means? My bad. Thought I made it a bit more inconspicuous. Trying to hide that. There you are, the dungeon, as far as you all know it right now. Wow.
Wow, he spent so much
Jeez.
time getting that perfect.
After I aligned it.
Oh
and
my
everything-
god.
Wow.
I'm like, what just happened? God damn.
Memphis.
That's
I
not
thought
how you
Memphis,
find
I want to open this beer bottle with you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whatever.
You know, I thought Memphis was the asshole here. Not Daniel.
The whole time.
Starts with the players.
Starfallen passes right through the curtain of water. The waterfall itself appears to be coming straight from the ceiling. It appears to be 1 foot thick.
Oh, it's a waterfall.
Clear water forms a 1 foot thick, 7 foot high, 10 foot wide curtain between the two hallways.
Right, well I don't trust
Why the
anything,
one
so we should see. Somebody should check and see if that waterfall's magic.
Where are your guys'
I'm not walking through it
minis
first.
on there? Drosten's right there.
I
You
actually
grab-
don't. I need a mermaid or something.
Oh, you didn't bring your funky little one?
No, I'm not bringing old Greg until
We're already in.
That's what he looks like right now.
There's no base to it now, right?
We should already be in the
Broke
room.
it.
There's a
You
face.
melted it.
No base.
Especially-
Oh, there's no
Memphis.
base. Yeah.
Yeah, how's it
Melted
gonna
his
stand?
feet off.
I have bases. I just need to glue it on.
Okay. It's just that there's usually a flat piece like this.
No, I have some that came with like some other WizKids figures or whatever. But I'm way down here. Like,
You're basically at the waterfall, yeah.
yeah.
Just
Say I'm in front of it.
Nothing.
Sure.
Right, I'm not walking through first.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting sick of this draw.
It's like Mrs. Doubtfire.
But wait though, she goes through and she sees what? Just this?
Sorry.
Okay.
What's do we see an offshoot off right in front of us?
I didn't make that a lot.
That little thing?
Yeah.
That's where the arcane eye came from?
Yeah, from that way.
Yeah.
Oh, it went through from over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So now we got this offshoot. So
Oh.
do I see any more statues in here or anything like that?
You see, looking through the curtain of water, and Starfallen lets you know it appears to be all the same, although a mirror image.
You're gonna
Of
run
course,
and
it's
jump.
missing you.
Hey, Superman's through the water.
Oh. Superman.
The force of the water ball slams you to the ground.
I cast water walk so we can't go through.
Oh wow.
As
Biggest dick move
Ace
ever.
Superman dives through the waterfall, the water becomes a wall. It becomes as hard as concrete.
No.
Ace crashes into it.
Really?
The water then explodes into a tidal wave that washes down the entire hallway, slamming every one of you to the ground and back against the wall. Everybody must make a DC 17 strength saving throw.
Strength. Shit.
Is it like from floor to ceiling?
What'd you
Damn
do,
it.
Ace? What'd
Nope.
you do?
It's the fucking rabbit.
5.
5? I don't think that's going to do it.
Damn. 27.
Well, that passes 17.
Did you
Yeah.
say DC 17?
I made the save.
No ways.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
I rolled a 14 plus
Strength saving
my
throw, right?
strength plus my
Strength
Hey,
saving
does everybody get a his plus 4?
You're
Only
not in range.
Ace.
Only me.
Wow.
Your spades.
Well, at least we still have our pass without a trace.
I made it.
Yes. You all take half. Those of you who pass take half damage.
How much is that?
Those of you who fail take 14 bludgeoning damage, and you're all knocked backwards against the wall
we
and
take
fall
7.
prone. Even those of you who passed are knocked prone and against the back wall.
So, how do I make a save for
That's
the
funny.
Constitution?
I
for
just
the-
took those temporary hit points.
you took
away.
damage, so you're gonna need to make a DC 10 con save.
How much damage? I'm sorry. I was trying to see if I
14
could get
or
it.
You
half.
pass.
Nope.
You pass. You said? You take 7.
I failed. It was a 2.
And
Your
I had
arcane
how
eye
many
dissipates.
temporary hit points?
14.
14, so I'm down to 7.
Well,
Indeed.
And I'm
Right,
knocked back
maybe
to the end of the
Droskin was
hallway.
right for once.
Everyone. You all are deposited at the end of the hallway
That was fun.
into a loose pile of bodies.
I lost my eye.
I'm going to aim at the fucking thing with my wand and use a charge on it.
Watch him turn.
Bam!
Before that happens,
Uh-oh.
Drawson darts out of the room.
Please roll a D100.
Yeah, I literally like run and dive in between the doors.
Drawson's out.
Roll initiative and see if you react before or after Ace.
There's
You
no
have
way
space.
any of us are reacting.
This
before
Jackson
Ace right
23.
now.
Do
Boy,
you
I
guys
have
know what my
advantage on
initiative
those.
modifier is
Yeah.
now? It's plus 10.
Oh my god.
I rolled a
I hope you roll a 1.
11,
Shit.
so there's no way I went before Ace.
So anyway, rolling this, yeah.
Ooh, 18.
The
12
blue
plus-
is the 10s.
3, so
So
20.
83.
Oh boy.
I got 21 on initiative.
That's not enough to go before Ace.
You have advantage, I believe. I would say that this counts as a trap with danger sense.
I got it.
Yeah, there you go. 83
I did
is
roll
I
advantage.
cast invisibility on myself, so I just disappeared.
Nobody is entirely too certain, though, what just happened because nobody knows about the charge on a wand. So you see
Right.
him bust out the little rabbit unicorn. Boom! And he's just gone.
I just start laughing.
You can see his feet in the water, right?
I'm sure we'll
As
see
he
something.
walks, yeah.
No, I mean like he's making, since he's invisible, it's making a space where there's no volume of water.
It's true. There are puddles. It's not like a actual river, but yeah, I'll say that you can with a what's your
I'm
passive
laughing
perception?
really loud, you know where I am.
Right.
Ah!
Sweet kick the DD.
Right?
Alright, well, now one of you do something.
It was a good try.
I
Everybody
walk
dove
up
into
to the
holes
wall.
and corridors. Face first.
Maybe before we start doing all that, we should get Drawson back on the let's get at it train and not the I'm not going first train.
Okay, yeah.
Because your eye did dissipate.
Okay, yeah.
Is the eye gone?
It's gone.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
more
say,
eye.
okay, I'll do that right, and I fall backwards, nice and slow into the water.
You fall backwards into the waterfall.
Just nice and slow, like leaning back, like a child.
I'm gonna move out of this room.
Nope. Too late.
What?
Drawson's already out.
No. No.
I
no.
did say I was jumping into the thing.
Hey, wait. No, I
Yeah.
can't because we're in initiative order, right? And that's not my turn.
Well, you guys, like, 2 of you rolled for initiative, and the rest
No,
of you are
I-
like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Fuck you, DM.
I did.
No, I rolled. I got an 11.
I got 12. I rolled twice.
Yeah.
So,
I got 13.
Well, you
I got
weren't,
21,
you weren't
so
up
my ass
here.
was going
You don't
fast.
have the movement speed to do it in
I
one
couldn't
turn.
even do that if I wanted to.
all right. So,
So that's what I'm saying. If you start making your way that way, I'm getting the fuck
Yeah,
out of this
you're
We're
room.
right.
prone too, so I mean, you guys.
Bismuth had gotten up, and I'm going to resolve that action because you said that's what you're going to do.
Okay, but in the
Justin's
meantime, I'm
like,
outta
can
here.
we take care of this?
That's my action, okay?
And
Yeah.
Bismuth
So,
is like,
I'm
yeah,
going
hold
into-
on. And everybody else is like,
See,
And you
Felicia.
duck out of the hallway.
Okay.
Bismuth gets to
Yes.
the end and falls backwards into the waterfall. It then explodes into another tidal wave and blasts you to the other end of the hallway.
Wham!
DC 17, strength saving throw.
Oh.
What about me in here?
That
What happens
is
to me in there?
14.
Or you're in there?
Yeah.
You're fine.
Nah, I fail.
Alright, 14 bludgeoning damage, and you are knocked prone.
But by the time you get here, you're within this range, right? When do you make the save? You make the save up here, or you make the save down here?
No.
I'm pretty sure getting
well, I
hit
mean,
by the wave is a
I said I
damage.
jumped in there when you did your 1-to-1 turn.
Yes.
So you're still in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still,
no, you're
if
completely
Phoebe makes
unharmed.
the save when he hits the back wall, if she hits the back wall, then she's within your range.
The
Oh,
no,
good
she
point.
makes a save up at the front.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that
Okay.
makes sense.
And you're not even wet. Didn't even come into that tunnel at all. The tunnel's
Phoebe's
actually
never
completely dry.
Interesting. You know, I think I'll explore the tunnel just a little bit to see if there's a way this way.
There's not. It turns to the left, but you're allowed to go down there and make investigation or perception checks.
Hey, you know, there's some that the eye may not have seen, so while they're doing that, I guess I will check it out, make an investigation.
Did you lose the
Certainly.
lose the temporary hit points? at all?
Only 7 of them.
I got a 19.
I was just asking.
Only 7 of them.
So, 19. Cool.
Yes.
You are traveling and through this tunnel.
What if
It
it's
goes
all
on for maybe 30 feet and turns towards your left. You take the turn around the corner, and as soon as you move 5 feet around the corner, actually you do pick up on something. That it looks like there is a seam on the ground and the walls and even the roof of this. Are you going to investigate this area for some sort of?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
What am I adding here? What am I doing?
I'll let you do a perception search,
You
but I was kind of perception search.
Perception search?
Yeah,
To see it?
yeah, because before he's just kind of looking. Now he's like searching an area. It's different. A search is not a passive check.
So if I can't get, I mean, it's
Can he stick his head in the water
12.
and make it like a double?
He's not in the water.
12.
Control water, so he has echolocation around his
Yeah.
around a basketball globe around his head. A 12.
Yeah.
You don't see anything right here, and it's very dark in this hallway, and you no longer have any sight from the torchlight coming.
Well, I'll bust out my lantern.
Okay, that's right. I should have just assumed you have your lantern out. Lantern at your side, you're looking around, and you see that the hall continues on toward much further down and goes around a corner. But you don't see anything here that makes you think that this spot has a secret door.
Even though I found some kind of seam.
There's a seam. There's a seam along the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like an actual break in the chiseled stone.
It's the divider for the paper.
Well,
You found it. You found this thing, right?
I'm gonna
the
climb
edge.
out and
Darn, the kid
relate
got
what I
time
found
to
to
love.
BB and suggest that she go take a look with her dwarven eyes.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I walk over with my sweet dwarven eyes.
Are we breaking
Well, Memphis comes out and
BB, I found something curious in there, but you know, as expected, I rarely know what I'm looking at
Okay.
around here, so you can go take a look. It's just a little, about 30 feet down. There's a bit of a seam, and I describe it to it very well.
How about I assist Ace in doing it?
Yeah, whatever makes sense. Where is Ace? Spades, I mean.
I'm over here.
Spades, can you look here? I will give you direction.
Still invisible.
Mm-hmm.
How am I still?
In a minute.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Walk into the invisible area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to inspect the bowl that he got the eye from.
A plinth.
Sure. This is just a regular bowl-shaped plinth.
Give me a check.
What kind of check?
What kind of check do you want to make?
Perception? Investigate? Either way, like 17 to 21, whatever one.
Investigate.
Okay, then 17.
17. As you investigate the stone plinth in the secret room there. Plinth. It's just a stone block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to ring it either.
Not a
That's what I
bullshit.
thought.
Not a
You
bullshit.
don't have to ring it either.
Flat.
Plinth.
Thanks, fun.
Yeah.
And there was just one single eye sitting on top.
One single crystal eye resting on top.
Let's see if we can go back.
And with your check, you don't notice anything out of the
What
ordinary.
color was it?
Can I go back to me?
Green is the one I grabbed.
Put the blue one on there.
I'll try and put the blue one on there.
Back in people's area.
Place the blue crystal eye on
Peek
the
my eye out. Any change out here?
Try.
No, there's no
Do
change.
you want
No change out here? The wall or nothing? Nothing
Oh,
nothing
now
about
you
it?
look out there and there's no change.
Yeah,
The
put
water's
'em-
still pouring. You can hear it. It's loud.
I put them all on there.
All the eyes are on the plinth. Nothing
Did
happens.
I notice anything now that I have them all in front of me?
And anything
They're
just-
pretty.
Alright.
They
Put them
are.
back in my hand and walk right out. Alright, what do you guys see?
Give me look to
What'd you find? We're gonna look at a seam in the wall?
Okay, so Memphis found a seam in the wall,
Mm.
and I want to assist you in finding it because you have way sharper eyes than me, Ace.
Mm.
I'll say that right now. You have way sharper eyes. You just
Mm.
were born with the defect of being human.
Mm.
This is gone.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep bringing it up.
Yeah. Alright.
Does,
Alright.
does this
So-
seem to line up
I'll
with
give you assistance.
where that
with
dead
your,
end hallway was?
Hard to say.
advantage, okay?
Okay.
It's probably better if
Seems not.
Memphis did that, and I could just give you a guidance.
What?
Well, he can't do it. I don't know. But, okay, so yeah, who's assisting and who's providing what now?
Do you want to assist them, and I'll give him guidance, and then you can also help with your D4, I guess.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
It's passive, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you assist Ace, and I will give him guidance, and I'll tell
Alright.
him the same thing I tell you guys every time. That you gotta do the hip jive. You touch the top and touch the bottom.
Gotta
You
do the
know,
hip.
left one,
Alright.
you know?
It's in the hip.
Oh, you're adding the 4?
Yeah, it's a 3.
Oh, that's good.
Plus my 4.
No, that's saves.
Oh wait, no, that's ability saves. Yep. That does save.
You said what now?
He gave
3?
you assistance.
I assisted you.
Oh, that's advantage. But
Yeah.
still, I don't think I need it. So that's we're doing perception. So 19 plus 3
Three.
is 22. Or, oh my God, it's even better. Whatever, 27, 25, something like that.
To investigate the scene.
Nah, in perception.
Perception, looking for something secret.
Mhm.
You get in there. Dancing lights are going, and you immediately see the scene that Bismuth and Memphis were asking you to look at.
Okay.
Guidance. You don't have to be there for guidance to work, right?
I think you just,
I just have
patted
to
me,
tell him.
and it
And
lasts.
he has-
Okay.
It lasts like 10 seconds.
Okay.
Good game.
I was like, I gave
Yeah.
you
So you're in there and you're stumped. You don't know. It's a seam. It's clear as day to you. You see it. It's built in there as some sort of break.
Push on the wall.
Yeah, try pushing it.
Right.
Guys, are we close to the area down below us that rotates?
And I see the map that's underneath Memphis's paper.
And eraser.
The next floor underneath you.
Eraser.
Flip it over. That's the floor underneath
Oh
you.
shit. That's the floor that's underneath this side right here.
We haven't. Yeah, we don't know where that room is
It doesn't work because this is
Okay.
bottom.
though. Okay,
this is
so
top.
that it's not what I'm thinking.
All right.
It is not the gears.
Well,
All right, I walk back out. I don't know. I
Crawl
see.
back out.
Yeah, I see what you guys are talking about, but it doesn't appear to have any mechanism that we can activate.
Alright, well, very well. It seems like we gotta try
Should
to...
I run through the wall again?
No, that didn't work very well.
Let's just climb back up the rope and come the opposite direction.
Maybe it is a one-way wall. Maybe we're supposed to come out this way, from the other way, to get into the room. Because this is the room. This is what gave us the clue.
Can I see that?
I think we need to go around.
Well, there's a way. There was a door in this room that we never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty clear where it goes.
Right. Well, that's where we need to get out to because we can't get through this way.
Yeah.
Maybe come around the other direction.
And we assume that this comes out to here.
It does. We sent the eye through it. I followed it pretty far. I mean, I could have followed it farther. I suppose there was more. We could all follow it. You know what? I'll do that. I'll follow it a little farther past where I did before.
So Ace comes out, so you don't have to crawl over him awkwardly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still invisible.
I assume Ace comes out.
Yeah.
I'm out already.
Spade.
Go in.
Memphis, you go in. You come to the scene. You see it there. It's lantern illuminating it, and you continue on. You continue on for about 20 feet when all of a sudden the ground shudders underneath you, and you look back and forward, panicked, and see that the chamber has spun, and you feel yourself like when you stand in an elevator, you seem to lose gravity for just a second as the ground lowers itself underneath you. May I see that, please?
Great. I trapped myself again.
Yeah, big
Away from
surprise.
everybody.
Had to be you.
This is the third, right?
Yeah.
Third time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once inside the chamber with the cogs.
At least you got a slight buzz with the wine.
There you are.
Where?
Ah, rotating. Hey. I was half right.
So what's the point in having to be able to like go around?
Well, he is now sealed in a tunnel
So
that
you
has
die.
dropped into the ground.
So he's stuck
Yeah.
for good.
Until we
Yeah.
figure out how to unrotate it.
He said for good.
Good.
So
Did
wait,
I?
so I crawled in like this, dead end,
Yeah.
and then this thing went zzz,
Yeah.
like that.
It wasn't a dead end. You were crawling. There
Yeah,
was
'cause the
more
arcane
tunnel to
eye
be
made it
seen,
through.
but as you are in there, you feel it rotate. And it rotated so quickly that you just caught glimpses of the tunnel closing itself off.
And then there's nowhere for me to go in here.
Yeah, so you go all the way forward and you come to a wall, and you can see a seam ending at a stone wall where it looks like the
Right.
position you're in rotates. You crawl all the way to the back, unable to really turn around, but you can kind of see that it's a dead end and that the ground has rotated and dropped a few feet.
Why didn't you just ask me? Like, all you have to do is ask me, and I would have told you, like, there's nothing in there, because that's where the eyeball went through, remember?
I know the eyeball went through there. I was relying on the description from when I went through the first time because it went through there. But
BB, we heard something. Can you communicate with him telepathically?
Would you guys
He's
like to pick
stoned.
this up in a week? It is 10:30.
Fuck.
And we
I
leave
cast-
Memphis off where we usually
Hold your
do.
breath, man.
I,
Cold,
I wasn't
scared.
paying attention. I cast the
back in a
spell that I
week.
was going to cast.
So Bismuth was outside, and she takes the opportunity of downtime to cast Dispel Good and Evil on Drosden, purging the spirit of Obolaka from him. In a bright flash of light.
I give the amulet to Rick. I don't have the amulet's obviously not the god, but the lizard is possessed by that god.
Right.
As soon as it touches Rick, I'm like super tempted to just like slap that lizard.
Do it. Stop the lizard. Stop Charles. He's a nuisance. He's a nuisance. Slap him.
Lick him. Gonna beat your ass.
I grab BB's hand and slap the lizard.
I think it works that way.
All right, I touched.
Shall
the
we
lizard
pick this up?
with my finger?
I mean, how long are people going to sit and watch us play D&D?
All right, I just
Realistically.
No, come on, I want to poke Charles real quick.
You're gonna poke Charles real quick?
Yep.
We'll pick that up next week.
Oh man.
And I'll let you all ponder how to save your friend.
He's fucking dead. There's
Yeah,
nothing
this.
we can do.
He can't keep surviving this. It's going to get him sooner or later.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.